Oh, I can barely hear you. Let's can you hear me all right, bud?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, David, how many times Vincent LaGuardia again made you take the bar exam?
8.
No.
Oh.
That is incorrect. Sorry,
oh,
bud.
Man.
As far as I know, it's incorrect.
Oh,
your answer is always
the
the de facto answer. Your answer is always correct.
All right, we're going to now go to Jennifer. Maybe Jennifer knows. Hi there, Jennifer.
Good morning, How are you?
Good morning to see you, Jennifer. We're wonderful, and we quite literally can see you. So do you know how many times you took the bar exam?
He passed after his 6th time.
6 times. That's right. Love it. Hang on the line. I love Joe Pesci's delivery in that when he's sitting there. He's going, whoa, you had to take it twice? No. 3rd time's a charm? No, not for me. No, for me, 6 times was a charm.
That's in the jail cell, is it not? Yeah. That whole exchange, he's so good.
Yeah.
All of his interactions, especially when he shows up with that bizarre suit that he got just to accommodate the judge's request.
It's a movie that when it's on, I'm in. I'll go.
All the performances are great.
It's just excellent. Yeah. All right, so Jennifer, hang on the line. We're going to set you up with some tickets to the Monster Energy Supercross Saturday, April 12th, and that's at the Link. And tickets are on sale now. You can visit, supercrosslive.com for all of the details. So I got some interesting stories to pass along to you. Hey, we'll start with some good news. Dave Coulier has been given a positive, or he has given a positive update on his cancer battle. He was speaking with Parade, and the Full House actor revealed that he is been going through the ringer, but things are looking up. And it revealed last year he was diagnosed with a stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma. And since he's gone through multiple rounds of chemo, he shared that his symptoms got worse over each round. But Coulier completed his 6th round last month. Halfway through his treatments, his doctor shared that there was an absence of cancer cells.
Which is wonderful. I saw an extended interview with him last night. I think it was on Extra. And, you know, he's been through the ring. He said the 6th round really knocked him on his ass. Apparently, it's the most powerful. But he says that every day, John Stamos calls him and says, and the first thing he says is, "Are you still alive?"
I love that.
It's their thing, and because the gallows humor is what's getting him through.
He said they carpet bombed me for 3 more treatments after that, and they're not expecting to see anything. He said, I am in a position where I can inspire others. Positivity, though, can take you a long way. And a rep also confirmed to People magazine that the actor is indeed cancer-free. So that's great news.
That's wonderful. Now, hopefully, something can happen in the world of James Vanderbeek, who's also going through issues.
Yeah. All right. So Rain Disick has shut down rumors that he is Justin Bieber's son during an Instagram live session with Alabama Barker's boyfriend, Scooter Jackson.
What the hell?
I know.
These are luminaries you're all mentioning here. This clears up 2 things. One, that he's not related to Justin Bieber, and 2, that there is, in fact, a Rain Disick.
Rain Disick.
Wait, okay.
Reign.
And Rain is the one that's saying no to this?
Yes.
How old is Rain?
Rain is 10.
Okay.
So when a commenter made the claim, the 10-year-old looked shocked and responded with disbelief. He said Justin must have been around 16 years old when he was born, for starters, although Bieber was actually 19 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you see pictures?
No.
It does kind of look like it could be his kid.
Oh, like he might be Scott Disick's kid? A little bit.
Jesus Christ, Scott Disick is such a weasel. I would be surprised if in his house he didn't have a large water bottle stuck to the wall with the nozzle out of it.
So he could just drink right out of it?
No, I think he looks like Bieber.
Oh, you think he looks like Bieber? Well, he is. Or no, he's not Bieber. See, I am getting lost in this story.
I hate them all.
Out loud.
Except the kid. The kid didn't do anything.
I think he looks more like Bieber than Disick.
So Rain had another point in his pocket telling everyone his mom would never do anything like that. The whole thing apparently popped up from online commenters zeroing in on his mom, Kourtney Kardashian, and Bieber's rumored 2015 fling after she split from Scott Disick.
Disick is what would happen if your butthole became self-aware. Look at that face. You just want to punch him.
They both denied there was anything romantic going on back in the day, and fans have noted that Rain is basically a carbon copy of his dad, Scott, though, Kathy. So that's what some people are saying.
Bieber is apparently, not that we want to go on with this, But he is in a world of mental hurt. He's suffered with mental issues for a long time. And the big rumor, the conjecture that's going on now is that it has something to do with his time with Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, we'll follow it. We'll be on it. That's the case.
Like white on rice.
That's right. The Kim Delaney incident that we talked about was reportedly an epic argument that escalated to physicality and dual arrest. Now, we told you yesterday Kim Delaney and her husband, James Morgan, have been arrested on charges stemming from a physical confrontation. The couple have been fighting for 2 days straight when things went from bad to jail. And according to TMZ, when police arrived, James spoke with deputies and gave them video seeming to show Kim trying to hit him with her car.
Oh.
So that takes it up another level.
It does. Maybe it's the romantic in me, but there's something sweet about couples getting arrested together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You'll always have those mugshots to share.
Right?
What
You know?
were we doing?
Wow.
Look at that photograph.
And this has been a 2-day argument that has been going on. Man, oh man, oh man.
Do you have couples in your lives that are perpetually fighting? And I was,
Not anymore, but I have had that. Yes.
So I was reading about these two, and apparently the times where there was peace and quiet was the anomaly, and they're constantly fighting and fighting in public.
Yeah, I had friends, a couple who would fight all the time. Like it just was like part of the day. And like we were younger at the time, so we were around them a lot. And it was always like, okay, well, yeah, it's 6 o'clock. So
Yeah. Time for fight.
time for fighting.
God, aren't you glad? I have to believe. Now, it's not true for everybody, but as I age, I think I get a little bit wiser and a little bit more tolerant and a little bit more understanding about discussion and talking about things and getting it out there. And even though it's difficult at first, it's the better thing to do.
But some people just, they can't, they don't know how to do it. Like they need serious like help to sit down and stay calm. Like some
they need a
people
mediator.
They can't see a bigger picture. I still have my things that I'm like, okay, that's one. That's a bridge too far. But for the most part, hopefully, you do embrace the notion of like, well, you pick your battles, you know? And if that battle involves you driving over your loved one, that's one that you lost. You have lost that battle.
So cops interviewed both of them, and then they slapped them in cuffs and took them off.
You know, she's such an attractive, looks together woman, but this is an ongoing series of issues.
Yeah. All right, so Tom Brady, is he off the market again? That's the question. Pics of the NFL legend at David Beckham's birthday party, chatting up a mystery woman, have the rumor mill in second gear. But before things get out of hand, the mystery woman has a name and a husband who was there as well. Tom's
That's a mystery.
conversational partner was the wife of former NHL great Ty Domi.
Ty Domi.
Who was standing nearby, but apparently not close enough to help shoot down the budding rumors.
So Ty Domi and Nelby Tai came into the NFL at the same time.
They did. No, Ty Domi, I actually was standing next to him one time at a Flyers game. And so, Steve, he was a fighter, big time.
Yeah.
But he's small.
Is he?
He's the guy who took out Eric Lindros, is he not?
Dude, he is I stood next to him and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this is the tough guy?
Yeah.
Sometimes size doesn't matter. Sometimes
Think
it's the
Rorschach,
fight.
right?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm fairly certain that he's the one who took out Eric Lindros. Eric,
I think you're right.
He was out cold before he even hit the ice.
I can't believe he's the guy who took out Eric Lindros.
But Ty and Tom.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
Ty and Tom are good longtime friends. Ty and Tom.
Ty and Tom.
So apparently it's not a big deal. All right, this is a weird little story. Steve sent me this yesterday. Jessica Simpson shared the shocking revelation that she drinks snake sperm to help improve her vocal cords.
What?
The TV personality, 44 years old now, whose fans think she is plotting a revenge reality show on her ex, Eric Johnson, got candid about the special Chinese herb cocktail in an Instagram video uploaded on Saturday.
She admitted that the difficulty is finding the penis on the snake.
It comes shortly after the star dropped her latest EP, which is titled Nashville Canyon Part 1 last week. And during the short reel, Simpson could be seen opening the lid to a small bottle and then taking a swig as she talked about how the drink was recommended to her by her vocal coach. And Jessica explained that she discovered the snake sperm, that snake sperm was inside the Chinese cocktail after looking up the ingredients on Google. She received shocked reactions while telling some pals of the drink as she spent time at a recording studio and further described the taste as honey.
This makes sense because most of the pictures I've seen of her recently looks like the face of someone who just found out they were drinking snake sperm.
She said, so if you want a good vocal, you got to drink some snake sperm. In one of the song titles, titled Leave, the star seemingly hinted that her ex, Eric Johnson, may have cheated on her following their heartbreaking split. Some of the lyrics included, what we had was magic, now you've made it tragic, giving her what you gave to me. Now the well that you drank from is empty. And then she says, your weakness made me lonely, unholy matrimony. Did you do to her what you did to me?
Oh, my God.
Was she on her knees? She's everything but me. In January, she announced the split from Johnson in a statement to People and shared that Eric and I have been living separately, navigating a painful situation in our marriage. Our children come first, focusing on what's best for them. We're grateful for all the love and support, blah, 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 blah. So that's, yeah. So they're wondering if these...
I hope she's finding peace. She can sit in the hot tub with a big glass of snake sperm and just kind of
just let it wash away.
By the way, just a quick question. Where exactly how do the genitals reveal themselves on a snake?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where do they come from? Is there some sort of flap? I assume there has to be some sort of crease or something that, right?
Something like that,
Like-
right?
like-
It doesn't hang out.
Right. I never see. Look at the junk on that snake.
I haven't watched snake porn in a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You got to go back and dive back into that. Let me see here. How about this one? Coyote versus Acme has officially been saved. The movie, which mixed animation and live action, was shelved by Warner Brothers. We've talked about this before. But despite seemingly being a complete and getting good reviews in test screenings, they decided to shelve it. Led to an outcry from movie fans as well as some of the stars in the movie. Will Forte, John Cena, and Lana Condor stars in Coyote versus Acme, and it centers on Wile E. Coyote's legal battle with the infamous Acme Corporation, whose products fail him time and again as he pursues the Roadrunner.
We had an audio of Will Forte talking about how borderline furious that they'd worked on this thing, and they really felt confident and ready to release it, and it was going to be one of these insurance things for the movie company.
So Catch Up Entertainment bought the worldwide rights from Warner Brothers in a deal thought to be worth around $50 million, and the film is expected to hit theaters next year. So it's looking more and more likely.
Maybe we can get him on.
That'd be cool. Michael Mann has given a positive update about the sequel to Heat. The director says the script for Heat 2 has officially been handed to Warner Brothers. And speaking with Vulture, he said that just finished the screenplay, handed in the first draft. Any more than that, I can't talk about, but it is an exciting project.
So is it officially Heaterer?
Yeah.
Heaterer. The original Heat came out in 1995. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. They were following a group of professional thieves as they start to feel the heat from the police after a heist goes wrong. Val Kilmer, John Voight, Danny Trejo, and more also starred in the original movie.
Are you a fan of the original?
Never saw it.
Oh, never
Really?
saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how there will be a sequel.
Yeah, a lot goes down in the movie. The movie is terrific. It has complete Michael Mann, touches all over it. And, of course, one of the most iconic gun battles
The
in movie
shootout
history.
is insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just like lead flying everywhere.
Visceral, like
yes,
the
in an
sound.
active street.
Yeah.
Exactly, the sound design and everything. But it happened after, if you remember, there was a guy a few years prior to the release of the movie, Preston, who had basically gotten all body armored up, a couple of these guys. And it was sort of based on that.
In L.A., that one? Yeah.
And they were, this is basically what it's a riff on, but it's an amazing fight.
Wow. Let's see. Warner Brothers is teaming up with the venue operator Cosm to bring movies to a whole new level with, quote, shared reality screenings. Kicking things off is The Matrix, set to hit Cosm's massive 87-foot LED dome on June 6th, with pre-sales opening in mid-April. With The Matrix, this is according to Cosm CEO Jeb Terry. He said, with The Matrix, we're expanding into cinema, transporting fans into the scenes of their favorite films. The company, which has already locations in Los Angeles and Dallas, is planning expansions in Atlanta and beyond. So I'm curious if this is the one where they interact live action with film. Have you seen that type
I've
of
heard
thing?
that.
It's now
This
I haven't
sounds
heard of
like-
that. I haven't heard of them doing that with movies.
No,
But I've seen the scenes and it looks incredible.
it does look amazing.
But I
This-
don't know if this is the same thing or not. We'd have to look up COSM. COSM is how that's spelled.
This kind of sounds like an ultra, like almost like a sphere kind of thing.
Almost. I mean, they used to, like at the Franklin Institute, the IMAX screen there was one of those that was a dome.
Yeah,
type,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it went
yeah.
up behind you.
Right.
And that kind of sounds maybe like that's what this is, but that technology's been around for a long time. So
They have to employ gimmicks. I mean, the box office takes have been down. Of course, releasing movies people want to see would help, but like they're even going back to the 3D releases as well. Yeah.
ticket pricing will vary, but past events range from $30 for NBA games to $50 for immersive films. So maybe it is just that big visual surround type of viewing.
They should do bottomless popcorn.
Yeah, that'll bring them around.
There you go.
All right, so we mentioned this earlier. We're less than 2 weeks away from the premiere of Season 7 of Black Mirror, and Netflix just released another trailer. It offers glimpses of all 6 episodes of the new season, along with episode names. So they are as follows: Common People, Bête Noire, Hotel Revere, Plaything, Eulogy, USS Callister Into Infinity.
Yeah.
Are the 6, and the entire season drops on April 10th. And you'll recognize some nods to past episodes as well in the trailer. It looks really cool.
It's funny because when, those episodes from this series will live with you after, and they will mind F you.
It's really taken the the handoff from the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It's real. I thought it's done a good job. What the Twilight Zone used to be, and thought provoking and trippy and stick with you for a while. Took a long time before anybody came along and did that right
do that
again.
right, yeah.
And this is I'm a fan of Black Mirror. There were a couple seasons that were not so great, but it's still really good stuff.
What episode of this is going to be a tough question to ask, but I'll ask it. What episode got to you the most?
Well, I know we both share
Metalhead.
But there's another one called White Bear that I really liked a lot. So it's
I remember that one.
they are there's a girl who is running from an angry mob and she doesn't know why. She wakes up and all these people are coming after her. And it turns out that she's a criminal and it's a interactive.
Who was she? Who was that actress?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back because some of these people are like emerging actors.
Are now stars.
Like
yeah.
Casey had pointed out, you'd see somebody in that first season and go, "Oh my God, that's so and so."
Yeah.
So they do a good job of harboring talent for that. A couple other quick things. Jason Momoa's Chief of War is officially coming to Apple TV Plus. That'll be August 1st. And it says here, Hawaiian history has never been told like this. He shared it on social media. It said the drama series will premiere with 2 episodes to start, and then new episodes weekly through September 19th. The series is based on true events following the warrior Kaiana, played by Momoa, as he tries to unify the islands before Western colonization in the late 18th century.
I think this sounds, all that Hawaiian lore and all that stuff is fascinating. Yeah. And if they do this right, I think it'd be pretty cool.
The series will also star Lucianne Buchanan and Tamura Morrison and more. This is Momoa's second series for Apple TV Plus, following his post-apocalyptic series C.
I didn't like that show.
Ran for 3 seasons. I didn't see any of it.
I watched a bit of it, and I'm like, you're doing all this and you can't see? I mean, listen, I understand you can do quite a lot. Maybe like Daredevil. I mean, I'm a huge fan of that, and he does all these things, but at a certain point, it's like...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just a stretch.
This invading army's going to kick your ass.
All right. Fans of the satisfyingly gross Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, God, I can't do it.
Dude, I love that.
Oh,
Yeah, I cannot. I cannot.
No.
I really find it compelling. And there's a British version of it, too. A British doctor, dermatologist. I dig it.
Wait, so my mom called me one time. This was a couple of years ago, and my cousin loves it and will watch it on videos over and over again. And my mom was like, do you know what cousin so-and-so is doing? And I was like, oh, what? And she's like, she watches these videos. And I was like, I mean, okay. I was like, I don't know how you want me to respond to this. I think it's gross and I'm not going to watch it. But I don't think there's something wrong with her.
I'm going to guess, because I'm fine with it. I think there's something linear to your ASMR that goes along with watching a carbuncle or a pimple.
So the reason I think that I
Yeah.
like it is because I have had relief from a pressure built up from whatever it may be, a boil, a zit, or whatever. And when that releases, it is satisfying.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's satisfying in some way.
Do you know what? Like, if you've ever had, like, I've had one on my big toe, on the toenail, and it was not to get disgusting.
Yeah, no,
but
this is
when
getting gross.
when I
I'm gonna have
finally
to go
tapped
soon.
it off, it was like a yogurt machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then I could literally feel the pressure diminishing.
Yes.
And that was wonderful.
And that's comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why I like that.
We are
Although,
so-
man, geez, the most pain I've told you I've ever felt in my life was the time I had my pilonidal cyst lanced. That's on your tailbone, folks.
Yeah.
I've never felt pain like that in my life.
Was that satisfying?
No, that was
No,
not.
yeah.
And so that just hurt a lot.
That's
But-
why the pilonidal cystinator was not a popular show.
But like big zits or boils, I used to get these boils on my inner thigh, Kathy. They were really painful. They'd hurt.
They
And then-
hurt.
Yeah, and then every now and then one would go. So anyway,
Enjoy your breakfast.
Dr. Sandra Lee
Seriously, it's 7 a.m.
is returning with a brand new Lifetime TV show. So it's very popular. It's called Dr. Pimple Popper Breaking Out. And we'll document life in her California clinic where she is now mentoring a new staff of dermatologists. More zits, more cysts, more nastiness will ensue as Dr. Lee trains a new wave of dermatologists.
Do you ever watch Botched?
No.
So Botched are the two top cosmetic surgeons in LA.
Yeah.
And people will come in with effed up work.
Really?
And in a bizarre way. And I don't know, again, the way Pimple Popper appeals, to see work corrected and them get back to sort of, I mean, they do things like where people have had so much rhinoplasty that they're like a Michael Jackson thing.
Wow.
And they'll help reconstitute it.
Right.
And it is fulfilling.
Okay.
Yeah. And 95% of the time, the people are, oh my God. I mean, there isn't a real, with body dysmorphia, people get carried away. Or there's just things that they had an accident or they had a breast injury or whatever. It's pretty amazing.
Right. I'm actually going to write those down because I'm always looking for exercise shows. And I think watching Dr. Pimple Popper
Yeah.
would be satisfying while I'm sweating.
And you have the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Botched.
And
too.
Botched, yeah.
All right. So I think we're ready to play some clips now. Let's see. The Wheel of Time follows characters who experience a world-spanning journey within a fantastical setting. And in this clip, Rosamund Pike explains where the third season opens.
It's the way the world has opened up over our 3 seasons, the different cultures that Robert Jordan has written about, the way that we're starting to learn that this world that has seemed historical is actually in the future. And the Wheel of Time takes place after the breaking of our world.
Oh, shut up, woman.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
I gave that a watch. It wasn't for me.
Same with me.
I know that it's
Same with me.
beloved.
Yeah.
It's a well-known book series, but
Not when there's pimples to pop.
but that's an interesting concept that's actually futuristic and that the world, to quote Stephen King, the world had moved on. Interesting.
You know, and it harkened to me that whole conceit in this Lost series when they found that time-traveling device.
Yeah.
That they never really.
No, they didn't flesh it out. All right, so The Wheel of Time is streaming on Prime Video. Here's our next clip. Elizabeth Stratford in the Western series 1923 is a feisty young woman who was set to marry into the notable Dutton family. And here, Michelle Randolph talks about the continuation of her character's love story with Jack Dutton.
They're growing. They're, again, reality setting in that this is the life they chose to live together, to live in Montana on the ranch, to maintain the Dutton name. And so I just think that they are really growing up quickly.
Oh, shut up, woman.
1923 is streaming on Paramount Plus.
Is she good in the show?
She's
great.
the daughter-in-law man as well.
Are you watching 1923?
No, I got it. I watched 1883. I got to watch the first season of 1923.
It's really good. I'm watching it, and I watched this last season, so I was interested in what she had to say. I won't give anything away, but she's great and like completely different characters.
Okay.
Obviously.
She says Montana, though. Why did I think it was set in Wyoming? I mean,
They're right next to each other.
They're right next to each other.
What, like where was Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Where's the Dutton Ranch?
You could literally have two characters having a talk and one be in one state and one in the other.
Yeah.
So you could do that.
All right.
Yellowstone, the park, is in Montana and Wyoming as well. So.
Yeah, I think the show. I think they are in Montana because there's a character who's throughout the entire series trying to get to Montana to the ranch. So,
by the way, what's the significance of the number 3 in the dates here? Is there any?
1983, 1923.
Is there anything, or do
No.
they?
It's a magic number.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? Damn it, Steve! I forgot about that. 3. Oh, it's a magic number. Yellowstone.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Darby, Montana. And then also, I was wrong about Ty Domi. It was, they say Scott Stevens is the one who laid that hit on.
If we're going way back
Lindros,
to
yeah.
Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There.
Anyhow, we are wrapping up this particular segment and moving on because we have stuff to get to today. In fact, a little less than an hour from now, we have an important announcement we're going to pass along to you, my friend. We also have guests on the show, Steven Weber.
Love him.
Great actor, a lot of fun. We'll talk to him in the 9 o'clock hour, and then shortly after him, local person who's done a really cool thing. It's getting some national attention. Teacher Kristina Ulmer, and it's her $20 challenge. It's a really cool story, so we'll talk to him. And on top of all that, we got ice cream. This morning, Lieutenant Dan, Hangry Bear Creamery, is stopping by today, and we will have some giveaways. It's what we call a meet and eat. So we'll tell you about how great it tastes, but then you can go taste for
It
yourself.
is amazing, Angry Bear. Love
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment on this Tuesday morning, Tat Tuesday as well. We'll remind you about that in a sec. Stay put.
Preston and Steve. You love bragging about Dunkin' Donuts. And
I know.
also,
I hate to do it.
Well, no, it's
because
okay.
Not everyone has had that opportunity.
Are you going to one-up him with McDonald's?
I'm going to sympathize. We're the same team, really. But, so when I worked at McDonald's, there were actually 2 dumpsters. And one of the dumpsters was normal trash in case that dumpster juice would end up in there. And then there was the grease dumpster. And you would have to take out the used grease from the fryers. And it, for whatever reason, whatever coagulated in that, probably had some alien life in there. I don't know what the hell that it was, but
it became sentient at that point. Yeah.
It was a different level of gross than the other dumpster. They were both disgusting.
Yeah.
Very disgusting and smelling. I have had once or twice where I almost fell in. You got to watch it. The revelation of the side door entrance on a dumpster, I don't think it may not have existed during that my time with dumpsters.
But that only works for so long because then the trash
if
will
the
just
trash
fall
is
out.
up above it,
Yeah.
it means nothing.
So my friend Brian just sent me this video that I don't think I want to watch it. Have you guys ever seen a video of a Louisville woman drinking trash juice?
No.
Okay.
No,
but that's about right.
Do you guys want to watch that?
No.
Okay. I don't think
Really?
I.
Well, I don't know why
Is that woman Halle Berry?
she's doing it, but oh my God.
you know what though? That teetering, like when you have your body weight, and you're like, I think I can do it. I think I can.
Yes.
And then you're like, nope. Can't
Yeah,
do
just a
it.
little bit further I
Yeah.
can reach. I'm almost got it, and then you're in. Nick, what was the Wikipedia page you had pulled up? What was that?
There's a term for that liquid, and it's called leachate. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Leche. Oh, trace
Ooh,
leche.
this is going to be exotic.
Yeah, Casey, when there's 3 dumpsters, it's trace leachate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Leachate, and that's the name of the liquid that
Yeah, it
collects.
It is any liquid that, in the course of passing through matter, extracts soluble or suspended solids or any other component of the material through which it has passed.
So,
And-
so the liquid, as it
technical term
descends
for
through the garbage,
Yeah.
is so the garbage is basically serving as like a large, horrible coffee filter.
Yeah, it
so,
says it is
right?
most commonly used in the context of landfilling of putrescribe.
Oh,
What is
putra.
that? Putrescrible or industrial waste.
Do you get that in your regular garbage cans? I do.
Occasionally.
And I'll have to wash them out.
Yeah.
I mainly get it when we are when we host at our school.
Garbage can night?
No, like bag bingo or trivia night
Oh,
or whatever.
all right.
One of these, these social events at the end of the evening after everybody leaves, or we have to throw out the trash, and there's always just a trail of trash juice sludge, and it's just gnarly.
You know what's the
And then
worst?
all that collects in the dumpster.
When you're taking it out of the house, right? You're taking it out of the house, out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And somehow it's permeated, and you have that trail that you've walked all the way out of the house.
Yeah.
And it's a nightmare. And
But
it's
generally,
a stink trail.
Generally think, a general rule in my house is you don't dump liquids into the trash. Anything that is liquidish goes into the sink. So that way we don't get a ton of so that doesn't happen all
Trash
that much.
juice.
Yeah.
Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, mister.
Hey, mister. What's up, Ryan?
Not much. So a couple times at my work now, I've been at this job for like 20 years, and I've accidentally thrown a money bag into the dumpster.
A money bag?
Yes.
Okay.
So I fill vending machines, so collecting the money and mixing it in with some waste sometimes.
Yeah.
And had to dig through the dumpster for it a little bit. And
That-
one time for a pair of keys, too, from my brother-in-law.
Well, the money bag I think wins. There's certain like I'm reminded of the Lenny Dykstra story. He had how expensive were his dentures?
Yeah.
That went in there. There were
Yep.
there were many thousands of dollars. At a certain point, you can teeter on the line of the hell, I'm not going in there for that. But that's a point at which you have to say, "Oh no, I'm
Right.
going in."
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan. By the way, did you have to go like deep down it? Did you wait a while before you realized, or was it fairly short after you actually?
I had to root around a little bit once or twice.
Okay.
So, yeah, pretty gross. And then one time, Nick, I was trying to dump the grease into the grease trap at one of my old jobs. And as I slid the bucket up from all the splatter on the edge of the grease trap, the whole bucket, 5-gallon jug, slid back down and sloshed all over my shirt.
5 gallons of slop.
Oh,
Disgusting.
Wow.
You should have quit that day. Like
Christ.
that's it. Walk
No.
out.
Yeah.
Next job.
That was too easy. You needed to jump off a high rise.
Set yourself on fire.
I'm done living.
Thanks,
All right,
Ryan.
guys, see you later, guys.
All right, we'll see ya.
That's why, like, when we did the dumpster pool out in the back, it was
It was clean,
It
right?
was a
Brand new.
brand new
Yes.
dumpster that
Dumpster.
never had any
Yes,
trash in it
it had to be.
whatsoever.
No.
And it was lined too.
And it was lined.
Yeah, so yeah. All right, we got. I'm sure there's lots of trash guys listening. Sean's one of the trash guys. He's loading up some stuff right now. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Good morning, Preston. How are you?
Good morning, man. We're doing well. So you can weigh in on trash juice.
Oh yeah, Casey would love what I'm doing right now. I sit in a machine all day, and in front of me they dump the dumpsters that come from all over the place, restaurants, all over. Any dumpster that's at an apartment complex,
Right.
everything comes here. All the wet stuff, I take it and load it into the tractor trailers all day long. That's what I watch. Is stuff being dumped it out. I take it and load it into trucks, and it's disgusting. Casey, you would get sick.
What's it smell like?
Well, you only smell it when you get out of the machine. The machines that we have in here have filters in them where it stops the smell from coming in the machine.
Oh, good,
They're
good.
brand new. But if you get out, I've seen many guys get out that are brand new that just can't take it and start vomiting right then.
Sean, you're an expert here. Is it possible that if you haven't thrown liquid into a dumpster, does it still create a juice anyway? Do you have?
It depends on the weather and what people are putting in the garbage. A lot of people that throw stuff in dumpsters throw things that aren't supposed to be in there.
Right.
So that's covered up a lot. But no, we get dumpsters that come here, cans that are dry. But with the weather and with the rain and the snow and people throwing, say somebody throws a half a gallon of something that still has liquid in it.
Yeah.
When we pick it up, it's going to crush and it's going to leak out all over the place.
Dude.
So,
Yeah, thank God they have air filters for you, man.
Thanks, Sean.
you got that right, guys. Thanks, man.
See you,
Steve,
buddy.
down the shore, they have, and it happens all day long on the beach. They have, garbage cans and recycling cans, and they have a truck, this cool little truck that goes up and down the beach, and it will empty.
I love those
them.
things.
But it lifts it over where the driver sit.
right.
It doesn't lift from the side. So I wonder how often
does it? Well, it's
I
got
mean,
to
he's
be
gotta
designed.
be-
Yeah, the first guy who had it go wrong would have said, "We need to fix this."
Hey, our intern Ben.
As you can imagine.
Former intern Ben.
As you can imagine.
That's him. Yeah, is on the line. Hey Ben, how you doing, man?
I'm great, guys. How are you doing?
Doing great. So you have a dumpster story?
I do. So for what me and my dad do for work, we go in and out of a lot of supermarkets, and we have a handheld computer, and these things cost like $3,000 or $4,000 to replace if you lose it or break it.
Yeah.
And it accidentally got thrown into the trash compactor at a supermarket.
Oh no.
Oh God.
So we kind of weighed options, and it's like, is this worth it? So my dad is like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So he slides into the dumpster like a slide and grabs the thing. And then we had to get a stick and pull him back out of the dumpster.
Get a stick and pull. Somebody get a stick so we can get Dad
Where's
out
my
there.
dad's dumpster stick? So let me ask you, Ben, why didn't you go in?
Yeah.
I was probably too heavy to be pulled back out.
Hey, did he find it?
Yeah, it was right on top. But, it's like you're in a compactor. Someone hits that button by accident.
Oh yeah, dude. That's
yeah.
nothing. That's
Dear
nothing to
God.
mess around
Dude,
with.
if
That's
you-
instant death.
If you're talking about nightmare scenarios,
Oh.
like, we all have ways, no one wants to die in general, but you also sort of,
Yeah.
list which ways would be least preferable to you. Trash compactor's way up there.
That's definitely one you don't want that you want to avoid.
My
Wow.
friends growing up
All right,
had-
thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, see ya.
They actually had their trash can in their kitchen was a trash compactor.
Oh, mine was.
Yeah, we did
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right.
And then my dad would yell at us because no one would take the trash out and we'd just keep compacting it.
Yeah, as far
so
as you
nobody
can
had to go outside.
And we go down again. It's
You're
like
gonna
I
break
can't
it.
push it any farther.
That's
But-
something I always wanted, a trash
but
compactor.
We wouldn't put things like food or compostable things in
Okay.
there. It was more for
Empty milk cartons.
stuff that wasn't
Okay.
that wasn't going to have a substance. to it.
Unwanted
it was
pets.
More,
Did you line it with a bag too, or no? Do you
yeah.
remember?
We
Okay.
did, yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't a standard trash bag. Like they made them for the compactor.
Okay.
They were
Okay.
pretty durable.
Do you have a
And they were
compactor
paper.
and a food in the sink?
Garbage
disposal.
Disposal.
Yeah.
Have one of those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let me go to Mike. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Hey, on the next chat show, Biscuit, Triscuit, Tricycle.
Is that something from our show?
I mean,
I love it.
That's from way back. Jimmy Winklebum or whatever. You guys are talking about.
All right.
Is this Bill Weston? He's
Listen,
making up names.
I
like
love it.
All right.
So confused right now.
What's up,
I
Mike?
want that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, so years ago when I lived in an apartment, I had to take the trash out to a dumpster. The lid was open, so I heaved the bag in, and all of a sudden I hear this scurrying around, and a squirrel jumps out, and it's got like this, and lands with all four paws on my chest.
Oh, my God.
Karate. I'm like, what did you do that?
That happened to me in my old house. It's just in my trash can. When a squirrel jumps out of your trash can, it is terrifying.
I'll tell you what's worse. I had it happen was
Thanks, Mike.
the opossum.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
yeah, because that's where they love to hang out.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, and it was at that same dumpster in media, got close enough to it, threw the thing over, and I'm like, I just started running.
My buddy was sitting in the front seat of his car. He was picking his daughter up from work, and he had both front windows open. He was just sitting there, and a squirrel jumped in through the passenger side.
How you doing?
Onto the passenger seat, off of his chest, and then out the driver's side. And it happened so quick that he didn't even have a chance to be scared or startled or anything like that. He was like, wait, what the hell was that? And then he looked over and he saw the squirrel.
Let me go over here to Ryan. Hey, Ryan, good morning.
What's up, you crumb bum?
Yeah.
Crumb bum.
I want to fight you. What's happening? What's happening?
I
Ryan?
want to fight you. I want to kiss you.
I don't want to talk to you.
What's up?
I just want to feel you.
You're
So
a
I
real
was in
crumb
about
bum.
I'd say 7th grade, and me and my buddies went to all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet.
All right.
I had a retainer at that
oh,
time,
yep, the retainer story.
and I forgot it on the table, and I guess they didn't think that it was worth saving. So me and my buddies had to crawl through the waste of a Chinese buffet dumpster for
That's got to be the worst.
2 hours.
Oh.
Literally 2 hours. It was.
Did you find it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we did. I did.
And
My
you put it
parents
right
were-
back in.
Get away
I
from
told
me.
my parents. I told my parents, and they were like, "You better effing find that thing."
Isn't that in the movie Parenthood?
It
He
is.
loses
Yep.
his retainer in the
Yep.
garbage, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they dig through it in the back of the
That's-
restaurant. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
common,
I mean,
Ryan.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Talk about trash juice. I mean, that was
Oh, God.
gnarly.
Yeah.
I
bet.
want to have a real full blown
Ryan.
study on the causes and for example, well, what makes it so pungent? I assume obviously you have all these different things that are going together, but why is it always incredibly foul smelling.
Well, you've got some gases that come from the decomposition of organic material.
Right.
That's definitely going to be a part of it, and that's what I think really gets
MMR.
Thanks, Kathy. There's a lot of great text with that song, and I love this one. It says in quotations, "Would it kill you to play a little fog hat every once in a while?" So they're happy that we made you satisfied and got you satisfied this morning. And then this other, let me double back to something we were talking about earlier about this entertainment thing called Cosm. And I got a text from somebody that says, Cosm is an entertainment venue company showing content on a large dome. And it says, fun fact, you had mentioned the Franklin Institute IMAX Dome. Cosm bought the company that built that, which is called Spitz. And they're in Chadds Ford. And it says, source, I am an employee there. So.
Oh, that's very close. So we're looking, we're looking at, I guess, maybe their promotional reel of what they do.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, there's a venue in Texas, maybe in Dallas somewhere, that I've seen, people watching live sporting events, and it looks like they are inside the stadium.
Yeah, Case, one of the earlier clips you may not have looked up, but there was, that's what the feeling was. In fact, they even had like a faux overhang, so it looked like you were in a, in a suite at the stadium.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I was curious what that was all about. Speaking of entertainment and sporting events and all that, yesterday was the Phils home opener.
Yes.
Got a winner.
Yes.
Phils beat the Rockies. The Rockies.
It plays really good, and I don't know, it doesn't feel right. My arm is a little cold, I didn't warm up enough, now that I hear it, my impression's not that good.
So the Rockies lost and the Phils won, which is great. But Marissa had an interesting observation, which might lead to a little chat about that. You went with your dad. You guys have been going for years and years, Marissa. You haven't missed opening day in ages, right?
Yeah, since high school. So we've been
Wow.
going
That's awesome.
over 20 years.
Cool tradition.
Thank you. Yeah. And I did notice yesterday that there were a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people are making this a tradition for family.
That's good.
And it's very sweet. It's nice. It makes
But
it
you
more
want
of
it to
like
stop.
kind of, Steve. You're kind of hitting me on the nail on the head. There was a point, like my friend had bought a brand new jacket, and I see like all of this blue water ice behind us, and I was like, grabbed her jacket. I was like, there's going to be blue water ice all over your stuff, because all of their food had like leaked into our space. My dad's jacket was soaked.
Oh man.
It was it was like
So this is all from the kids?
It was chaos.
And the kids don't care.
No.
Listen, I mean, when they're old enough, like maybe they want a ball, but they want ice cream in a baseball hat.
That's part of going to the game.
Yeah, they want crab fries and funnel cake, and that's it. Like, that's what they're there for.
Did I send you guys the photo of the remnants of like the food under their?
No.
I'm kind of doing the math, and I'm like, all right, if each one of these things is $10 to $15, there was $100 of food just left on the ground.
Wow.
Like 6 ices, pretzels, popcorn, and I'm turning around, and these kids are like. They were so young that they all had headphones on.
Okay.
And
for noise mitigation?
Yes, for noise mitigation. And they were having the time of their life. And more than that, the parents, and it looked like the grandparents, were enjoying taking the kids there. But the seats we were sitting in were not inexpensive. Like, they weren't like $25 seats.
Right.
And I was, again, doing the math. And these kids will have no idea that they were there and that their family spent all of this money.
Like, how
for
would you
them.
put that? What age range would you put them in?
God, I'm really bad at
3,
this.
4?
3, 4.
Well, were they
Like-
older or younger than your nephew?
Younger. Both.
And how
both-
old's your nephew?
5.
So okay, 3 or 4.
You don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus.
She's really into the kids.
I think, but as a parent, that's what you're in for. That's what you know. You know that you're going to get the water ice, and they're going to take 3 bites. You're going to spend $15, and they're not going to eat it. You're going to get the pretzel. They're going to take a few bites, and it's going to end up on the floor. Like, as a parent going and spending that money, you already know that.
But I think more than that, you're talking about where the seats were.
Yes, because
Okay.
when you are 2 and under, you can come in for free. But above that, they have to have their own seat. So
Okay,
these
so
kids,
they might have been 3, 4 years old.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. And
Which is
there were tickets purchased for them.
wow. So, I mean, yes, you can. Now, here's the deal: the kids may remember the experience of getting the ice cream and the baseball and the batting helmet and that type of thing, and being with their friends and playing and so on. But They don't need $500 seats to be close enough to see the game because they're never going to remember that part of the problem.
And to be honest, the parents don't need them either because the parents miss most of the game.
Because they're watching the kids.
At some point, I hear the mom go, "Oh, are you tired? Do you want me to rub your belly?" And I'm
Right.
like, "This is
Was
just
she
like."
talking to you?
I was like, "Oh, hi. Can I pop back there?"
So Marissa posed the question to us, and this is why we brought this up, is what is something that you took your kids that was too early for them to really grasp the gravity of what was going on, and you paid a ridiculous amount
So I
of money
want to
for
hear
it?
this, and then I have a question to sort of frame it from my perspective to see what you guys say, because you all have kids, but go ahead.
Well, so overall, I am the parent who will do that. So I completely disagree with Marissa. I will spend the money. I will sit in the good seats. Whatever is convenient. When you have a kid that young, I would spend more money to sit in a convenient seat, and so that the kid can see. If they're in seats where you're probably just watching the jumbotron, you're watching the screen, and the kid's not going to be engaged, it's not going to be as pleasant of an experience. So when you're closer, you will get that. And also, part of it for me is to see the look on their face. Now, there are instances where I paid money for a ton of different things, and the look on his face that he doesn't remember today. Jace doesn't remember seeing. Oh man, I always forget who are the white guys from Star Wars.
Oh, the
Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers.
He doesn't remember seeing the
How racist.
seeing the
please.
stormtroopers, but I paid for the experience for him to see that. And when at that time when he was a baby and he saw them and thought they were real, it was the most incredible feeling for him and for me watching him enjoy that.
So Parker was 2 years old. He was our only child at the time. He was under 2, actually, because Carter hadn't come along yet. Rochelle was pregnant with him. We went to Disney.
Oh, yeah.
And, dude, he doesn't remember a lick of that. Like, none of it.
None of it.
whatsoever. And probably enjoyed himself. I don't know. But he was borderline baby.
But I bet
point.
I bet you if you asked Rochelle about it, she could give you defining moments when they were there and what he enjoyed and how he reacted to certain things. I guarantee it.
Yeah, big deal.
I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is part of it is for the parent and seeing the child enjoy
that's
it,
an
even if the
interesting
child
take.
is not going to remember
You're
it.
saying it really, the impetus is more for the parent to generate experiences with the kid. How much to bring? Not barely to Parker.
It's
a lot of money.
It's thousands of dollars. And Kath, I understand what you're saying, and I don't think any of us really disagree with you on that. But in the long run, when you go 10 years in the future, you go, was it really worth the $5,000 we dropped?
Case, I'm always thinking of the footage that you see all over social media of the dad who'll put his kid in a little tub, get in front of the large screen TV, do the point of view roller coaster ride,
Right.
and then give the kid some ice cream. And I do think sometimes people fall over themselves and spend big money for things that won't be remembered. But the way you're framing it as it's really for the parents.
We have the pictures.
Part
We
of it
got
is,
the video. Yeah.
Here's a couple texts. Says, my kids are 5 and 2, and we've taken them to the Phillies every year, and I never see much of the game. Another one says, we as parents lucky enough to go to Disney 2 summers in a row. My daughter was 5 and 6. She's 22 now and doesn't remember a goddamn thing. But, Kathy, a lot of people are agreeing with you.
Yeah.
There are some texts coming in saying, for once, I agree with Kathy.
Here's something funny. And I found this out a few years ago. My cousin and his kids are all like in their 20s, 30s now. He's like, my kids must have thought that they've been to Disney World a dozen times because they were so little, and he would take them to Dutch Wonderland, and he just said, "We're going to Disney World."
Oh my God!
Because
Are you serious? And did they buy it?
They bought it. They absolutely bought it.
Yeah, Dutch Wonderland would absolutely blow a kid away. Yeah.
And he brought them to Dutch Wonderland. He's like, "We're going to Disney World."
Mickey's dressed like a Mennonite.
Why did I never think of that? That's a brilliant idea.
That's really funny.
He's like, my
that
kids in their
young.
mind, they were so spoiled. They've been to Disney World 12 times.
Well, you could go to Dorney and tell them it's Disney.
Dorney would be a big sell.
Yeah.
And you're right, you're right in the ballpark.
Yeah, and Dorney has they don't have Disney characters, but they do have Snoopy and stuff.
Yeah.
They got some characters.
Yeah.
And
Right.
It's funny. It's depending on the age. You could get away with doing some things like that.
Case, it's it's Snoopy. You say, look, it's Mickey Mouse.
That's all you'd have to do.
Yeah.
That's Pluto. Yeah.
Well, you've only seen him on the TV. You've never seen him up close.
Right, exactly.
This is what he looks more like a dog.
The camera puts weight on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know,
And shifts the
and adds
species.
ears and yes.
Camera
pitches
always
their
shifts the
voice up.
species.
But you know what? With sporting events, I think that's big, and I'm surprised, Mercy, you feel this way because you have been going with your dad, and it's sort of becoming a tradition, or it is for tons of families, where you take your child to the game starting at that very young age, and maybe into adulthood, and they might start to remember, in their middle school, high school years, whatever it is.
Right.
But like the tradition is there.
Now
And you
I
say,
remember it was Dutch Wonderland.
No, but you know what I mean? You say, I've been taking you since you were 2.
Yeah.
Right. All right, by the way, you can chime in if you want to. Text word Zoom to 610-660-9333. Now, this is different, and I don't want to go down the path of, sporting events are so expensive because we know that. But I did one year take the kids, speaking of the Rockies, they were playing the Rockies in the division series, and I took the family. And thanks, Rock. And bought tickets and parking and food and souvenirs, and I added it up.
Yeah.
And it was over $500 a day for a baseball game.
Wow.
I could not.
Family fun for under $1,000.
But the
Oh
kids
my
remember it.
God. They don't remember it at all. They're not even fans.
You guys raise a funny thing, though, which is the truth, which is really, at a certain point, a lot of the earlier things in your life, to me, that batting league helmet plastic cup with the ice cream in it was the greatest thing. And then getting like a Mr. Met bobblehead.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, the ice cream, the helmet, I mean, I remember keeping those. Like I had those. I held on to it.
Oh, I think it's my next tattoo, by the way. The little helmet with the ice cream in it. No, Kathy, I'm glad you said that because it is literally the first thing I said was the excitement on the grandparents' face and the parents' face. It was everything. The kids couldn't care less. They were that was it. It was just the whole experience of opening day. There were a lot of children there.
Okay.
So I think we are on the same plane that it is good for everybody. It's stupidly expensive.
Yeah, you're just wondering if it takes and if there's a way to be a little bit more economical about it.
Well, and
I think Dutch Wonderland is a great option.
Yeah, I want you guys to convince me that it's worth spending this money.
Well, and also, Kath, you took Jace to the Grand Canyon a couple of years ago, and when it comes to things like that, Grand Canyon, national parks, the majesty of this great nation. Sometimes it could be lost on them. They're too little to appreciate, or you get them on the other end of the teenage years where they just don't even want to be with you. They just want to be with their friends, and they're disinterested.
And I think there are events and trips and things like that you have to wait. Jace hasn't been to Europe yet. That is something that I want to take him to. But yes, I want to wait to take him so that he appreciates it. And when we showed up to the Grand Canyon and he took the first look at it, he looked at me and he went, wow, this is incredible. And I said, that was all worth it. The wait was worth it.
That's awesome.
And I'm glad that you're here to experience it.
Did he ask if they actually dug that up?
No, he didn't. He knew.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Listen.
Is this where they farm the salad balls?
All right, by the way, and I like this topic of conversation as well, which is duping your kids into believing it was something else. Here's a couple of texts that are coming in. It says, oh man, I'm having trouble with this new text system here. Let me click on this and see if that works. No, it doesn't work. All right, it says, I grew up in Maryland and all my friends went to the Ocean City Boardwalk for years. My parents would take me to the Rehoboth Boardwalk where the rides were cheaper and there were less crowds, and they told me it was Ocean City. One year we brought my cousin and he said, this isn't Ocean City.
Wait, this is eye-opening for me. My parents probably did this to me.
Right? All right, here's another one. It says, hey, I grew up over in Pine Valley Country Club in the golf course in Clementon when we were, so Clementon Park is right next to Pine Valley. And it says, when we were little, my father used to take us to Clementon Park and tell us that it was the west side of Disney World.
Oh, my God.
The west side of Disney World.
I love it.
Disney West.
Disney West.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, we are going to go to Tony, who's joining us via Zoom. Hey, Tony, good morning, bud.
Good morning,
Good morning to see you, my friend. What's up?
So when my son was about 7, we decided to take a trip to San Diego, and we timed it so that we could go to San Diego Comic-Con for a day. It happened to be
nice.
Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
Well, my son is 7. Huge crowds, lots of walking. I kind of dropped the ball on that one. As much as I wanted to be there, we had to leave a lot earlier than I would have liked because he just couldn't take it. And those tickets aren't cheap. I mean, it was just one day, but still, it was just he would appreciate it much more now.
Yeah,
Right,
you're setting. I mean, so I think what happens is that people may not think ahead of time about that because then if you're going to an event that you actually and clearly you wanted to be there very much, you had to cut your enjoyment short because the kid wants to. Is just wants nothing to do with this.
And Tony, you were in touch with the kid in you, thinking this is going to be
Yeah. I mean, it was like I said, Star Wars Day. We went to a breakfast at like 7 a.m. and met some people and blah blah blah. And so we hit the floor. We got a couple autographs, walked around. It's amazing. But again, I could just see him flagging as the day was going on.
I'm done.
Is he your only child?
Yes.
Okay. So, after you have a couple and you make that first mistake, then it's like, we're not doing that again. I know what you mean. All right. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you checking in, bud.
Well, I think that's part of it too. Like only having one for me, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this.
Got to do it all.
I'm doing it. I'm paying for it. I'm going to pay for the convenience. I'm going to, and part of it is like you have to watch to make sure that they appreciate it and they're not spoiled, but I'm all in.
All right. We got Mark up next joining us this morning. Hey, Mark. What's up, buddy?
Hey, first time, long time.
Welcome, sir. Happy to have you on Zoom. All right, so what do you want to tell us about?
So I'm an avid skier. I've been skiing my whole life, and I wanted to get my firstborn started as soon as I could, and I put her in ski school when she was 2, which is astronomically expensive. It's like $300 a day.
Oh my God.
And we put her in ski school, and my wife and I decided we were going to sneak over and kind of watch her. And she didn't even have skis on.
Oh my
She's
God.
throwing snowballs at the teacher.
Oh no.
Dude, that sounds like T-ball to me right now.
Yeah. So, $300 for a day, and we go over, and she's not even skiing. At the end of the day, we said, "What was your favorite part?" And she said, "The hot dog at lunch." I probably could have saved myself a lot of money.
But that's something. It's funny because that is sort of the gist of this, Mark. Is that the the cash outlay can be extensive, and you think you're building memories, and then you could have saved yourself by picking up a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
But
thanks.
I do like to show her the picture every year of her, skiing it too.
I
Right.
didn't realize you could start going to ski school at the age of 2. I mean, you just learned to walk.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, bud.
It's
Have a good day.
basically daycare.
Yeah, no, it
Hey,
is.
bud.
But it does remind me of T-ball. And listen, you're supposed to, try and get, your kids involved as early and as possible. So, but you sign your child up for T-ball. They're not into it. You know what I mean? And again, it just basically for some it turns into daycare. I remember this kid's hands are in his pockets. I'm like, bro, you got to get your hands out of your pockets. You got to protect yourself. Dude, his pockets were filled with goose feathers. And that's all he was doing. He was not playing T-ball. He was
playing with goose feathers.
By the way, here's Casey going back to what you said earlier. This is my parents used to take us to Dutch Wonderland in Lancaster and say that it was Disney World. And the first time we went to the real Disney World, I was like, wait, why are we on an airplane?
In case you talk about though, like those moments going away, doing these things and these activities and having to pay for them and all that. I took Jace last weekend to feed goats. Now my niece and nephew were there who are 3, and of course they loved it. Jace was just staring at me and he's like, they're dirty. He's like, I don't want to touch them and I don't want to feed them. I was like, well, I'm glad I bought you a ticket.
Yeah, well, you created that.
But
that's you. It's basically he's a ventriloquist dummy at that point, and I mean he's that's what you made him.
Steve, I made him. He is absolutely me. But my point is so when they are young enough to do these things, I did them all because I knew this point was coming, and now I'm like, well, I can't force them to go feed goats anymore.
Yeah.
Here's another text says, took my kids to Knoebels for 2 days. I told them that it was bigger than Disney. Now listen to this one that directly affects us. It says, took my kids 5 and 3 to the Cardboard Classic, We had to leave within an hour because they were cold.
Oh, man.
well, yeah.
But yeah, that's a little young to
Yeah.
be taking them out there. All right, up next, we have Carl, who's...
Carl, good to see you.
All right. Carl. What's up, Carl?
Yeah, I took my kids to the Wings game. What a value.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
It really
Incredible.
is.
The surcharge for the tickets was actually more than the tickets.
Well, I was going to say
And they
that
had a great
earlier, though,
time.
that about that you can take them to minor league games
Yep.
and probably get the same experience.
Absolutely.
And-
Sixers games right now.
And Sixers games. But
Yeah.
the Wings game, they've got the music going the whole time. It's excitement.
Oh,
so,
it's
yeah.
an arena event. They
Yeah.
get to go see an arena event. I think that's just a great value. So I wanted to kind of
Yeah.
go on the opposite end of what you guys are talking about. That's perfect.
Solid suggestion, Carl. I agree. All right. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it, bud. All right, we'll talk to you.
I wonder if you could just take them to the tailgating, and just all that stuff that's going on outside of a sporting event.
Well, a lot of times, season ticket holders for the Eagles, I don't go to the preseason games.
Yeah.
I mean, you just give those to families, because Eagles games are expensive,
Right.
And the kids don't know that it's a preseason game. They think they're going to an Eagles game.
Wait, by the way, I've never been to Knoebels. I'm like, when he said that, I was like, wait a minute. I've never been. Jace has never experienced this, so I'm immediately looking it up.
Oh, it's sprawling.
Is he too old, Case?
What, to go to Knoebels?
Yeah, 13?
No.
Oh,
They have like roller coasters and stuff there.
Oh,
so,
all right.
yeah.
Is it out? It's all
Now,
outdoors?
I've never been. It's all outdoors,
Okay.
and you pay per ride, right?
I don't know. I've never been.
All right, we'll have to be schooled on Knoebels. It's been a long time since I've
I wonder if anyone's pulled
talked
the
about that.
Sesame Place switcheroo for Disney World.
I don't think you need to. I mean,
does that have its own weight?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, just because the characters
Yeah.
are all there, and Sesame's awesome.
I would get the season pass with the added, so we could see the characters before they did the parade, and all the other kids were swarming the characters. I made sure that he got his one-on-one time with Big Bird.
Kathy, we're watching video. This is Knoebels. So
Okay.
they have big roller coasters
rides,
and
okay.
drop rides and all kinds of cool stuff. So,
I gotta do this.
you're good to go there. Let's go next to, and then we got to take a break here in just a second. We're going to go to Henry checking in via Zoom. Good morning, Henry.
Rantlers.
What's up, my man?
Not much, man. My father-in-law grew up poor, so he used to be pretty thrifty. So they would go to Lancaster and see the Amish and the horse and buggies and go to the Shady Maple buffet and everything. But he was too damn cheap to take my sister and my wife and her sister to Dutch Wonderland. He would swing by and they would go to the front gate and he would let them look in and run up and watch all the other kids ride the rides and go to the gate and then they would leave.
That is
what?
I mean, that's worse than just blowing it off.
Yeah.
He would give them a little taste. This is what you could have if you're good. Maybe one day, but not today.
Oh my God, that's awful.
That is
that's evil.
That's the worst thing you can do to a kid.
Did they?
They got to see the horse and buggies and go to the buffet, but they never got to go into the.
Henry, did he ever take them for real? Ever?
No, he never did. No, I don't think he ever. We still, to this day, we still give my wife and her sister crap about you guys never got. All got to go to Disney. I did the Disney thing. I paid all the money, just like Casey was saying. I dumped out thousands. My kids did the Disney. I mean, my wife, we still tease her about one day we're going to take you to Dutch Wonderland.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
You got to do it,
Yeah,
Henry.
you should. What does Dutch Wonderland run? It's pretty affordable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the big Disney and all of that.
All right, Henry, thanks, brother. We appreciate it. Have an awesome day, man.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
By the way, Kathy, a bunch of people are texting in Knoebels. There's no admission. You just pay per ride.
Oh.
Yeah, there's probably got to pay for parking. I'm guessing.
I would
but
imagine.
I don't really know. So, but interesting observation, Marissa. Thank you for that. Is it worth it if the kids are on the younger end, if they aren't going to get any long-lasting memories out of you spending a whole lot of money on the type of an experience, or is it worth it to see them having fun, even though they won't remember it? You will, and you'll enjoy that memory.
You can
know?
see them having fun at a place you're passing off as the place you said you were taking them to.
Totally.
So, yeah.
All right, we are going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a second. We have some bizarre file stories that are on the way. We also have an announcement that the details I think are going to be important to you. So we'll get back in a moment with that. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
What I can't stand is when if we miss a week, because we get once a week garbage,
Right.
trash removal,
wanna
and
die.
we miss a week, and it's summertime. I'm like, I'm gonna have maggots wriggling around.
Yeah.
If we, I hate it. I can't stand it.
When I played softball, we played. It was called the Incinerator League because essentially our softball field was right next to a trash dump with an incinerator. And when you played there in the middle of the summer, you got there on a bad day. It was just right field was just terrible.
Staten Island.
Oh,
so
God.
as you would, the Fishkill and those general areas in and around New York, which are these large dump areas. The smell would be so bad. I remember pulling off one time just to get like a soda at a like a Sunoco or something, and I'm walking around and I'm looking at people like, can't you smell this?
Yeah. So
they were so used to it, it meant they were just okay.
They were
that's
nose
the smell.
blind.
Yeah.
You mentioned Fishkill. There were a couple of times growing up where my dog got out. Okay, so he got out, he jumped the fence or did whatever, and he was gone for like an hour or two, and he would come back, and it was as if I don't know where the hell he was, because this happened on a few different occasions, where he just smelled like horrible, rotten fish and garbage.
Sure,
and,
he was probably getting into some dump somewhere.
and just rolling around in it.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
If you're just tuning in, my sister fell in a dumpster and broke her rib over the weekend. So that's how we got started on this conversation.
Dude, how long did it take for her to get out of the dumpster?
You know what? I didn't ask. I need to find out more. It doesn't sound like she was stuck in there for too long and was able to get out. Yeah, totally. It could be, man.
Yeah.
That would just
Help!
suck. Yeah.
Did you had a story about someone who was screaming? It wasn't from a dumpster. It was from a Goodwill clothing.
Yes. Yeah. Hang on. I'm going to go to John. I think we have a winner here. Hi, John. You're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Yo, good morning, Preston and Steve. How are you?
Wonderful,
well.
man. I can't wait to hear this story. Do tell.
All right. So I have an excavating outfit. We do a little bit of demolition work. 2 winters ago, just about this time of year, 2 winters ago, we were doing work in the Pocono Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a demolition up there. There's a mobile home that caught on fire. We had to go up to demo the rest of the remains of the house. So the dumpster driver shows up. First thing in the morning, drops the first dumpster. We load it out. Okay, no problem. Second dumpster comes. I have to go number 2 really, really bad. Really bad. And there's nowhere around.
Oh,
We're in the
no.
middle of a trailer park.
Right.
Okay? Nowhere around that I can go number 2.
Right.
It's an emergency.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You have to do this.
Phase 6.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now, or I'm going to drive home in a bad way, right?
Yeah.
3 hours back to Chester County, Pennsylvania. Okay? So I put a little trash inside the dumpster, all right? I jump inside the dumpster in a 30-yard dumpster, jump over the top, on top of the trash, to then go number 2, all right? Everything was going swimmingly until I heard a backup beeper of a truck. There's no way that guy's coming for me, right? Maybe it's a trash truck. I don't know. I'm in a 30-yard dumpster. Can't see. I have 2 laborers on the job. They're both sitting in the pickup truck because it's 10 degrees out with the heater on.
Yeah.
I'm in the dumpster.
Oh, my God.
Yet again, don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, boom, the guy backs into the dumpster. I'm like, no way. No way. He's going to pick it up. So I start yelling, yo, I start yelling. Nobody can hear me. My laborers know what's going on. They're laughing at me.
Oh, no.
So the guy gets out. I'm still yelling. I'm still going, number 2, still yelling. But, you're in a 30-yard dumpster. You can't really hold on to the side.
Yeah.
You're kind of hanging out in there,
Yeah.
Sure enough, he picks the dumpster. I ride the dumpster all the way up onto the back of the truck. While in it,
Oh, my God.
but, when it goes up on the truck, it's at a pretty steep angle.
Yes.
All the trash is sloshing around. I'm flying to the back. I'm flying to the side. I'm pissed. I'm freaking out in there. And the guy just never even knew anything of it.
So
Never knew.
how did you eventually vault out of it?
Eventually, when he pulls the can on the truck, he's got to get back out to then secure the can to
Yeah.
the truck. So he comes to the back of the truck, and I'm like losing my mind with my pants down, trying to crawl up over the side of the dumpster so that he doesn't take off down the road with me in it.
That's like 9 levels of embarrassment. But
it was awful.
I mean, you had to do it, and you actually made a good call with the dumpster. It sounds like what do they call that? Lily padding it when you
yeah.
when
you go in a porta pot. And you have to, so you don't get splashback, because unfortunately that happened to me one time. And so I found out about the art of the lily pad, which is you lay a whole bunch of like toilet paper down first.
To stop the
So
splash.
it's a landing pad.
Lily pad.
John, you poor son of a bitch.
The good thing about it, though, is when you're in a 30-yard dumpster, it's got trash in it. You're not really worried about a lily pad. You just let her go.
Yeah.
You just go.
What were you planning to wipe with, if I don't mind asking?
I had napkins in the truck from
All right.
McDonald's.
Napkins in the truck. That's beautiful.
Thank God we stopped at McDonald's on the way up in the morning, 4 o'clock, for breakfast sandwiches. We got napkins. We had napkins. Thank God. You know what I mean?
John, that's one of the best stories I've ever heard.
Oh, it was awful. But, it was a good day.
It's a good day.
Thanks
You
for
managed
sharing,
to take
John.
a dump in a
You guys
dumpster.
rock.
I'd hate to hear what a bad day is. Oh, my God. Some text coming in. This one says, I used to work at Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom, and everything was underground. So all the juices from the garbage from the park would leak down and drip on you as you walked from one area to the next. We used to call it tunnel juice.
Tunnel juice.
And it was a rite of passage to have it drip on you.
God,
So
that's awful.
one time, and again, please understand, I'm not trying to brag every time I mention this, but when I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, they were doing work in the parking lot, and the woman who owned this franchisee said, could go out and pick up the pieces of pavement and put them in the dumpster. And so I'm like, okay, I'll do this. It's fine. So I'm moving all this stuff, and she said, you sure you want this all in the dumpster? Yes, put it all in the dumpster. Okay, I'm putting it all in the dumpster. Put a lot of it in the dumpster. The truck comes in, the forks go to the side, and it's going to lift it up. And you're, bam! It lifts the sides of the dumpster up, but the bottom is still sitting in the pavement.
Oh, my God.
With it tore the entire bottom out. And all of the dumpster juice started to disperse around.
Was the bottom just all rusted out or something?
It had to be.
Oh, my God.
I mean, now mind you, I put an F load of pavement chunks in that. I'm sure it wasn't designed for that.
When you guys are tossing something into like a community recycling bin outside of Wawa or whatever, will you make sure that you dump everything that's inside whatever you're tossing out? Let's say it's a can of Diet Coke or whatever, or do you just chuck it in there?
If
regardless?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, I have learned since, and we've talked about it before, that recycling, that stuff needs to be clean. So at home, I definitely clean out anything before I toss it into the recycling.
This could be a whole. This could be a whole other topic, but I refuse to throw any bottle of water or coffee or anything out until it's fully gone. Not like, oh, there's some left, let me dump it. Like, no, I have to drink it. So like, there's bottles of water in my car with like the teeniest bit of water, and I can't throw it out until I drink
Like
it.
plastic bottles?
Yeah.
That's actually probably not good for you. You're not supposed to. Okay.
Yes. Have you ever thought of consolidating them into one bottle?
I've done that.
Okay.
I've done that. Wait, I've done that when I go to the gym and I
Right.
forget a full bottle of water. I'm like, well, there's 2 in the back seat,
Right.
4 up front. I think I have a full bottle of water here.
I can do this.
Yeah, Kath, when we were going down the shore, the kids would come out of the surf and they would go into the cooler and they would grab a bottle of water, take one little sip of it, and then just kind of toss it. And nobody knew whose bottles.
Right.
So we would just take all the bottles home, and then that would be the dog's water. You know.
Okay.
But I have.
The hell is this?
I know. But as a result, I just went and bought one of those. It's essentially like a Gatorade. You know, when you dump Gatorade on your football coach, I got one of those things, and I just fill that up with water. So we don't use bottled water down the shore anymore because we were just wasting so much.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm going to go to Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Going back to the dumpster thing here. Good morning.
Hey, yo, black listener.
Hey! What's up, Aaron? How you doing, man?
So when I was a kid, I got bullied. And walking home from school, this kid comes up, grabs my book bag off of me, throws it into the dumpster of a butcher shop.
Oh, no.
Absolutely disgusting.
Dude.
I had to go in there.
That's I assume blood and entrails and all that, right?
Like, some stuff was in bags, but as soon as your foot hit it, boop, right through. And there was definitely like a rat in there or something. So, yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. But afterwards, joined the Marines, got really big, saw the kid in the bar, and went, hey, remember when you threw me in that dumpster? So the look of fear on his face.
It was worth it. Good for you.
man.
Way to go back and get that done. All right, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, that's nasty. When you're talking about butcher shops and places like that, I would assume there's a protocol they need to follow for throwing away that.
They're throwing away like biomatter.
Yeah,
I mean, so that's you have to do something.
This would be the worst, according to this text. Says when I was in high school, I worked at a seafood market. Oh, gross. The trash naturally smelled in our dumpster. Every Thursday morning was clean out day, and it would soak me with fishy garbage juice.
I would be inclined to whatever, you get a high-powered pressure washer or something and clean those suckers out because the stink is unbelievable. There's a great blooper outtake from that episode of It's Always Sunny where Charlie and Danny DeVito, they're living in a dumpster to save on costs, and Danny DeVito's he's eating like a bagel, and Charlie goes, "Where'd you get that?" And he goes, "Who's down there?"
Rotting seafood. I can listen. Even fresh seafood. I've been walked by fish markets, and I'm like, ugh, nasty. I can't imagine what it's like once you throw it away and it sits out there and festers.
Oh yeah, it gives me that in the throat sort of gag where like I could go puke in
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing the stories. I appreciate it. Yeah, my sister fell in a dumpster over the weekend and broke her rib. She's all right, other than the broken rib, but it was a story worth relaying.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I want to take a break because we got bizarre. Man, was the weekend rife with bizarre file stories.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I have like a week's worth of bizarre file stories that I've held on to, and I cannot wait to share some of these with you. So a lot of people send them to me too.
Oh yeah.
We'll come back in a moment with those. Make sure you stay close because we'll be right back. All right, thanks, Kat. So the other day we got on a discussion of colognes and scents and things like that. I forgot how that even kicked off, but we were reminiscing a little bit.
Story directly pertained to it, and it was some development. But yeah, you can't help but nostalgically look back at the colognes you've gone through.
Yeah, because
your signature scents,
especially in the adolescent years
when you're trying to get laid.
When you're first starting to I remember when even before quote unquote getting laid.
Yeah.
Like I mean, when I was a early teenager, I'm like I started to do those things that might be attractive or what I thought would be attractive.
And when you saw your
the
dad,
opposite sex,
your dad just go. You know what they like to cologne in the after.
But I would get to those little sample kits of various cheap colognes and try them on and the whole thing.
I remember, and Steve, I think this will appeal to you. Like in high school, all of a sudden girls would start to smell my neck, and I was like, "Oh, I like this."
Yeah.
Their nose is close to where I breathe.
Right.
That's cool.
Right.
I should put some on my name.
Maybe.
I couldn't help notice that your taint smells enchanting.
So, anyhow, we thought
that
it
was
might
the
be
best tea bag I ever had.
I had stated that I think that I could identify some of those older scents. And
is it because you tried a lot of them, or you just think Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I did as well.
And the ones that were in the dad's bathroom that like you said, we would smack the face after shaving and stuff, and the whole room would smell like that. And I just remember all those scents. And you, as you said, Steve. Your olfactory senses are the strongest at triggering memories.
Yes.
I mean, you can have vivid memories from a very specific scent. Scents are very complex.
And it's astonishing how you, you'll catch a whiff of something, whether it be a food or a fragrance or something like that.
All right, thanks. So Hangry Bear Creamery, by the way, we do have some giveaways, and they brought by avocado toast with feta cheese, balsamic glaze, and breakfast burritos, which are divine, and of course, fantastic ice cream, incredible. In fact, they have an ice cream studio. And you can do events there and create your own ice creams. It's really cool.
I've been there a couple of times, and that party room where they have these things going on, these kinds of things, it's always hopping. Everyone is having a blast, but it's a big room, and it's and again for the regular food or the ice cream, which is sensational. It's tremendous.
Kennett Square, right?
Yep.
All right, hangrybearcreamery.com. But if you text the word bear right now to our new text number, which is 610-660-9333, you'll be in the running for a $50 gift card for Hangry Bear Creamery. So text word bear right now to 610-660-9333, and we'll see if we can set you up with some goods. All right, let's do the Bizarre File right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
right, let's begin in our favorite place, Florida. Another unique weapon has been unlocked in the Sunshine State. A Florida woman has been charged with felony battery for allegedly attacking a male acquaintance with a deadly weapon, a large conch shell with barnacles on it. By the way, do you guys say conch or conch?
I say conch.
Yeah, I say conch.
I say conch.
You say conch.
Conch.
All right, so we're all
conch over here.
All right, so we'll conch here and conch over there.
There, conch here.
So investigators charge that Nikki Quaterman was very intoxicated when she got into a verbal domestic related argument with the 63-year-old victim.
It's conch.
The pair had been in an on and off relationship for the past decade, and the police said after the argument, Quaterman took her clothes off and started to break everything. After the man got Quaterman to go outside, she allegedly grabbed a 10 to 12-inch dried conch shell and swung it at the victim multiple times. Those things could do some damage.
Absolutely. By the way, don't they make soup out of conch?
Out of the actual conchs, yeah. And you think soup and
it's an aphrodisiac.
And fritters, they fry them up.
It's believed to be like an aphrodisiac.
Quaterman then threw the conch shell at the victim, who suffered a laceration to his hand when he sought to block the incoming shell.
It's conch, Carl.
She then locked herself in the victim's garage, but was taken into custody there after a brief struggle. After posting $15,000 bond, Quaterman was released yesterday from the county jail. Judge's ordered to have no contact with the victim. She has a rap sheet that includes multiple convictions for disorderly intoxication, marijuana possession, as well as convictions for battery, DUI, assault on a law enforcement officer, and driving with a suspended or revoked license as well. She was actually arrested 6 months ago after causing a public disturbance following a verbal dispute with her sometimes beau. She allegedly exited the man's house topless and began banging on the front doors of nearby homes and screaming profanity.
Do you think there's ever a time when a person like this wakes up the next day and goes, "What did I do?
What was I thinking?"
What was I thinking?
All right, in Utah, maybe he knows this gal. A man is facing charges after he allegedly walked into a restaurant naked and armed with a gun.
It's conch!
Ralph Laurent?
What?
Ralph Lauren.
That man, the fashion business is on the downswing.
Was arrested on 2 counts of lewdness and disorderly conduct on Saturday. An officer was dispatched on report of a naked man inside a restaurant. And here, I love the description here. It says, one person told officers the man was flexing his muscles aggressively and following people.
Yes.
Another person said the man had a gun. Officers found the man identified as Laurent in the middle of the street, still naked.
So you're going to have to stop aggressively flexing your muscles.
More than a dozen witnesses allegedly saw him in the restaurant and at a nearby park, including 2 children. The children and their father saw Laurent take off his clothes at the park near the restaurant that he entered, and he was transported to the Utah County Jail.
So many people are so free with their nudity. I don't take my clothes off to go in the shower. Yeah.
Listen to this. A Tucson doctor convicted of animal cruelty for performing a botched surgery on a dog has been sentenced to 6 months of probation. Dr. Raquel Sepulveda, an obstetrician and gynecologist, was sentenced in February for felony animal cruelty and a misdemeanor practicing veterinary medicine without a license. Several other felonies were dropped, though. Animal advocates were obviously displeased with the sentence. The criminal case started after a local vet raised concerns after treating a dog that had received a botched cesarean section.
I think if you're a gynecologist, you could possibly make the leap to treating a beaver, but otherwise, I don't think a dog.
Sepulveda was eventually arrested in January. A search warrant revealed that 14 dogs and 3 rabbits were seized from her home as well. So, but this is a human doctor.
6 gerbils, 2 cats, a hamster, and a rabbit.
Taking a crack at animals, and the physiology is a little different. So, mid to long haul flights can be an ideal way for one to catch up on some Z's, but as TikToker Danielle found out, this can come with some hair-related risks. She said, "The man that braided my hair while I was asleep on the plane, I need you to come forth immediately." She said, "Let me get my emails prepared for you guys because we're going to get into some things real quick." She said, She went on to explain that she took an early morning American Airlines flight from Charlotte to Los Angeles and insisted that she was asleep for the duration of it. She said, when I get on a plane, I don't sleep. I hibernate. As soon as the plane takes off, I'm knocked out. She then added that she was woken by a strange shuttering sound. However, the window shades of the person in front of her and the person behind her were both down. She was like, so I'm like, who's taking pictures? I don't pay no mind to it because if you want to take pictures on a plane, that's none of my business. I'm just trying to get to my destination. She said that it wasn't until after she was at her Airbnb later on, she discovered the braid in her hair. And
somebody
said,
had braided her hair mid-flight?
That's when it dawned on her. The person sitting behind her had braided her hair. This, Danielle said, left her deeply disturbed. She then urged the passenger to make themselves known. She said, I just needed to come forward and discuss why you thought it was okay to braid a woman's hair while she was asleep. She said, don't touch people's heads or people while they sleep. It's weird and it's creepy. Don't touch people in general that you don't know.
Could have been a kid.
In a follow-up video, Danielle revealed that she hasn't yet heard from American Airlines or the perpetrator, who she has dubbed the Braid Bandit.
Okay, so a couple of things here. We have to assume that her hair was hanging over the back of the seat.
Yeah, or through it, or through the,
so
the
if
side
it's
by
in
the wall.
your area, you should be allowed to braid it or cut it off,
You
right?
think so?
I think you should have scissors and just trim along.
Just because it's entered into your zone?
Like when a tree branch comes over your yard.
Right.
You're allowed to cut it.
You just cut it.
And now yours.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny. There are worse things that have happened to people on planes.
You mean like the guy who was jacking it for an hour?
Yeah, you got your hair braided. Relax.
She's trying to find out. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file. Folks, we have a announcement to make. And this is pretty cool because the management at WMMR is acknowledging something significant with the Preston and Steve show. And we have a chance for you to win money on top of this, and that's the whole thing. So we are announcing, and I'll give you the full name of it and explain it all, the Preston and Steve 20 Money. Actually, I said that wrong. Chuck wanted me to say 20 money.
20 money.
Instead of 20 money. 20 money, because it rhymes, see? And WMMR is celebrating 20 years of the Preston and Steve show on WMMR.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Who would have thunk it?
Yep, that is
When
correct.
we were just, performing on the sidewalks of Broadway.
For 20 years, we've been here at MMR. We've been a show for about 28 years.
Yes.
But we have been here at WMMR, our full-time home, for 20 years. And we have your shot to win $1,000 5 times a day. So starting on Monday, I think you may have heard this before, we'll announce a keyword at 5 times throughout the day. 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. And you will have 25 minutes after the hour to enter. And there are 3 ways to do it.
Love this.
Contest page, WMMR.com, through the MMR app, or you can text it to a special number we will have set up, which is 45911. And not only will one winner get $1,000, but you also get a pair of MM tickets.
Yes.
And we'll be celebrating our 20th year at the MM barbecue.
They're actually
as well.
tickets to Dutch Wonderland, but you won't know.
You won't know the
Yeah.
difference, yeah. All right, so again, it starts on Monday, and we'll do it 5 times a day, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., 5 p.m. We'll give a keyword. We'll give you, it says until 25 minutes. Oh, it used to be 50 minutes. We'll give you 25 minutes.
I think that's because we don't have a phone system.
Yeah, or maybe it's 25 minutes to celebrate our 20 years on yeah, maybe that's it.
It works either way.
So you can do it through the contest page, WMMR.com, through the MMR app, or you can text it to 45911. So that'll start on Monday. We will remind you of it. And the President Steve 20 Money is sponsored by United Tire and Service. So we thank them very much for being sponsors of that. And the contest rules available at WMMR.com. So it starts on Monday.
We have a little sort of license plates that former PD Bill Weston gave to us when we came here in 2005. And yes, it's hard to believe that all that time has lapsed.
Yeah, they. I believe it's. Is it dated May 5th? Is that
I think
what
it
was?
is.
May 16th.
May 16th. So that's.
No, May 5th is when we. That's when we moved into this studio. I
Yeah,
believe.
we had Cinco de Mayo. We had a mariachi band.
That's right. All right. So, nonetheless, that starts on Monday, and we would love to give you some money. So, make sure that you are joining us for that each and every day. We'll take a quick break, come back in a moment, and we'll spend some more time with you. So, stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
and you almost it's almost like
You're
jarring.
transported.
It's like, oh yes,
You're transported. It's like that scene in Ratatouille where he takes a bite of the ratatouille and boom, immediately goes back to being a little kid.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was driving down the road and it was in summertime and this overwhelming wafting scent of honeysuckles. I had driven by some honeysuckles, came in the car, and I was transported immediately to a time in my life.
It's
Just
so wild the way that it
automatically.
works.
Yeah.
So in the collection of colognes, like I remember, I had. You would wear if you were seeing a girl what she wanted you to wear because you wanted to make her happy.
Yeah.
I remember getting a starter cologne from my mom years ago, and then so I wear now the 2 scents that Claire likes me to wear. So
Steve, I texted my ex-boyfriend from college. He would wear Jupe, and I loved it. And so now that you're saying this, I'm guessing he continued to wear it because I liked it. But I sent him a picture yesterday, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
Wow.
Well, let me ask. So what's your nasal capability right now because you lost your sense of smell with the COVID?
And
Where
taste,
do you stand right now?
Yeah, so the scent is definitely coming back. It's pretty good, and my taste is starting to come back as well.
All
I
right,
actually
good.
went out to dinner last night and could taste what I was eating.
That's a wonderful thing.
You know what, Jupe? I probably won't be able to identify that
No?
one. I'm not familiar.
So
with.
there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way you guys tried all of these.
Right.
So we actually have 10 colognes.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a test here. Yes, Kathy.
Yeah, well, so I just wanted to thank the person that helped us out with this. So it's a guy named Ali, and he.
Did you smell Marissa?
I
when
smell
you walked
Marissa.
In here?
She smells
I'm
like all
sorry.
of them.
Marissa came in and brought us
Yeah.
coffee grounds. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
She smells like
she
cologne.
smells like all of the
Cologne.
cologne that just came in here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and thank you, Marissa, for doing this because if I were to have to spray those, I would have to go home. I'd have like a migraine headache.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to thank Ali from Perfume Island. It's a kiosk in the Plymouth Meeting Mall. He used to be in King of Prussia and Exton malls. Those locations have closed, but he kept Plymouth Meeting open for 23 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
And he's actually closing his kiosk. He said he's going to be there through Valentine's Day. It's okay. He's moving to Fort Myers, Florida, and he has 3 shops that he's opening there.
Oh wow, good for him.
Yeah, so he said he's going to have some deals and stuff like that. He has all of this stuff that we're using, but he also has like nicer and harder to find perfumes and colognes. So if you're looking for a Valentine's Day gift or something, he's inside the Plymouth Meeting Mall. His name is Ali, and he's one of the nicest men I've ever met.
Listen, I see on this list here, and we're going to go through these in a second, but I see one that we had mentioned on the other day, and people are saying they don't make it anymore, which is gray flannel. That was kind of my scent. So if he's got it, that's really cool.
So he said, I specialize in hard to find colognes and perfumes.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
Plymouth Meeting Mall.
Yep.
And it's an island. It's called the Perfume Island? Or
It's called,
Cologne
it's
Island?
called Perfume Island, and he is kind of like diagonal from Legoland.
Okay.
Oh, all right. A lot of kids
Excellent.
like the cologne.
All right, so we're going to do this thing. We're going to do a sniff off.
Sniff off.
And Marissa brought in coffee grounds for
You know
us.
what though? I'm telling you, the shot glass is not going to do enough for cleansing your nasal palate. I have bags of cologne. I have bags of coffee here. I got
What, you mean like stick your nose
put
in the
your,
bag?
like a feed bag.
I don't
so
know. I'm getting a pretty
Preston,
strong scent off of this.
Nick, how are you? Will that get it done for you?
Yeah, it's enough.
Okay, so Nick, so
yeah.
Casey, you use the
Okay.
bag,
All right,
and they'll
so-
use the little cups.
Yep. All right, so anyhow.
That's sort of that'll cleanse your nasal palate.
Yes, exactly. It's like eating a palate cleanser, having a sorbet or
Yes.
something like that in between
For your snot
dishes.
factory.
All right, so Marissa is bringing in the coffee grounds, and then what we're going to do is we have 2 rounds that we're going to go through
Yes.
of 5 each because Kathy brought in 10 different scents for us to sample, and we have a list of them in front of us, and they are on these cards. They've been sprayed on there like you would get a sample at a mall or something like that. And we're going to sniff each one of them and write down what we think it is and go through the 5, and then we'll reveal what they actually are. So, oh my God, the whole room. Oh my God.
Thank you.
That's why it was almost.
I
we
already
figured-
smell Old Spice, man.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
anyhow,
Look at you.
so we go through one at a time and then
Right.
write down, and we're not going to say what we think they are, right?
No, you
Until
just
the
write
end.
down, and then we'll do it at the end, and we'll see who is the. Now
Oh.
I'm going to
Dear
handicap.
God, what is this one?
Are you? Is that number one? Go
Yeah.
through the various
I
numbers.
know what that
All
one
right.
is.
Everyone, Casey.
yeah, I got you.
What was your cologne of choice, Case, when you were a kid? Your main one, your teenager.
And I hate it now. I
Yeah.
can't. The Polo. And
Polo.
I wore Polo and like Drakkar Noir.
Yeah.
I actually still like the smell of Drakkar. And Craig Legans wears Drakkar.
Okay.
All right.
You and I are the same age, Case, and for us, I think Drakkar was like the cool one. They marketed it really well, and so I wore that at the end of high school and definitely at the beginning of college. But I had friends that wore polo, and I think might even still wear polo.
Yeah, I went from Drakkar to polo, and then my dad always had obsessions, so I would throw that on. Then I went to Eternity for men.
So you made the rounds. I think you're going to be good at this, Preston. You were the first one to claim you're really good. Nick, you said you were not so sure about your capabilities.
I know one, and I think it's
is it the one you wore?
The one
do you
that
think?
I wore.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Because that's like we've said many times. It just evokes the most and triggers the most powerful memories.
Wow. The guys are sniffing away. Preston, any good memories coming back?
Oh, yeah. 2 for sure.
Because I think,
if
your scent was Old Spice?
No, it was Great Flannel.
Great Flannel, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
and I have Old Spice at home because on Sundays when I shave, I'll slap a little bit of that
Okay.
on.
I have a question about one.
Yeah.
Do you think, Preston and Casey, do you think you note any sense of like cinnamon in Spice number 1? Or am I way off?
No, because I know immediately what it is,
Yeah.
so I don't even
All right.
associate it with a certain scent.
Let me know when you're done with your smelling and your number tabulation.
Let's open the doors and
Kathy's
air this
we
place
tried
out.
to do this while you had no sense of smell.
Turn the fans on.
But damn you got your smell back.
And Marissa didn't even spray them in here. She sprayed them out in the green room, and just those cards.
You know what this smells like? It smells like after the track team leaves the locker room.
Number 3 does.
Yeah. that smell. And when you always, for the most part, did you base it on what you liked, or did you base it on what a girl you liked?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, like whatever was considered the scent du jour, the hot one, like Drakkar. I mean, that for a while that was like the thing to get. It was like the nightclub scent.
Yeah.
By the way, none of these colognes, and some of them are like $9.
Yeah.
And I think the most expensive one is $20 maybe.
Okay.
There's only one that I'm absolutely positive about, and then the rest of them I have no clue.
I'm the same as you, Case.
Yeah.
All right, you guys done? Kathy, did you have something?
No. Go ahead. Go.
All right, I got 2 for sure.
Okay.
I do know that, and I think I'm pretty certain I got 3. So we'll have to find out what they are. So we can reveal what we wrote down.
Okay, so we're going to go through the list here, and we'll start at the top.
All right. With number 1.
Right. What did you think?
All right. I have number 1 as the Old Spice. Casey?
Yeah. My number 1 I have is, well, I guess I'm wrong. It's gray flannel.
All right. What do you think, Nick?
Number 1 is Stetson for me.
All right. What is it?
Number 1 is Old Spice.
There you go.
Preston.
I told you. I knew
Yeah.
that.
All right,
Ding, ding, ding.
Let me tell you a little bit about Old Spice.
We have facts about
Yes.
these.
Oh, yes.
Excellent. All right.
It is an exemplary specimen of nautical fragrances. Its spicy amber provides a deep, nostalgic foundation to its invigoratingly fresh and citrus notes. Fun fact, Preston.
Yes.
Old Spice was originally marketed as a scent for women in 1937, but it was the men's version that struck success the following year.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
There's a great reference to Old Spice in it was Hannibal, I think, was the movie, and Hannibal goes to Jack Crawford. He goes, that's the same atrocious aftershave you wore in court. One with a little ship on the bottle, I believe. Something a child might buy someone for a birthday.
That's great.
I told you I'd nail that one, no problem.
All right.
That's by far the easiest one for me.
Me and my older brother tricked my younger brother into drinking Old Spice one time.
Casey.
By the way,
Yeah.
I told Kathy, and she was not aware of this. Aquavelva and some of the really cheap colognes.
Oh, yeah. People drank
Rhinos
them.
would drink them, yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, you have to hand it to Old Spice. Old Spice is still relevant today. Their
marketing.
Their marketing is fantastic. They make. I will buy their underarm deodorant sometimes. Terry Crews was a spokesperson for them.
Do you know a catchphrase that's right on their site is, if your grandfather didn't wear it, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, which
All
is
right.
very funny.
Number 2?
Number 2.
All right, Casey, what do you think number 2 was?
We all know what it is.
What
It's
is it?
Drakkar.
I put Drakkar.
It's Drakkar.
All right.
Home run for you guys. That's clearly one that stands out. Drakkar debuted in 1982 from Gary LaRoche. Drakkar Noir, an utterly unique scent that focuses on themes of masculinity, sensuality, decadence, darkness, and lust. Interesting fact, Preston.
Lust.
The name Drakkar is derived from the word Drekkar, a type of Viking longship involving the virile charm associated with Viking warriors.
It sounds like something out of Game of Thrones, like a dragon, Drakkar.
Yes.
You know, something like
I
that.
wore Drakkar Noir
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
I like the smell, and it's still pretty relevant. All right. What'd you
Number
say for
three.
number 3?
Nick, why don't you begin?
I thought that was Old Spice, so I'm already wrong there.
All right, this one, number 3, this was the toss-up. It was either going to be Royal Copenhagen, which I'm not familiar with, or Stetson. I went with Royal Copenhagen as number 3.
And I went with Stetson.
All right.
Preston's right.
There you go.
Oh, man, Preston, you are
Number
tracking.
3 is you're
By the way, I'm going to ace this.
Yeah.
I'll get the other two.
You are.
For sure.
Royal Copenhagen, launched by the design house of Royal Copenhagen in 1970. Royal Copenhagen is classified as a refined oriental woody fragrance. This masculine scent possesses a blend of orange, lemon, jasmine moss, and amber. It is recommended for evening wear. There you go.
Did you get any splooge? Isn't there one called?
Splooge.
No, that's Jupe. I'm
Jupe,
sorry, we're going
yes.
to do that a little
That's
bit
the
later
next
on.
round.
All right, so
All right, number 4.
Number 4. All right, I'll begin with that one. So this one, because I couldn't choose between Royal Copenhagen, I had a feeling that number 4 might be this one. It just had a familiar scent to it more so than number 3. So I went with Stetson for number 4.
And
Casey?
I was wrong. I already know that I was wrong.
And
so I
Nick,
went with Royal
you'd be
Copenhagen.
wrong as
And
well.
so did I, yeah. So I
right.
think Casey and I are going to go 1 for 5, and Preston's going to go 5
Preston,
for
Yeah, but
5.
the next
He
one,
got
I
it
think I'm
again,
gonna-
Stetson. Yes.
Stetson!
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Stetson debuted in 1981. Probably would have hit in the realm when you guys were really using a lot of, you were starting your cologne using,
Yeah.
right? The cologne captures the spirit of the Western frontiers, Preston, landscapes and the smell of sage after a downpour. Stetson set a new legacy in motion.
After a downpour.
Yes.
Wait, let me-
Has to be after a downpour.
I'm going to snip that again while you're describing this and see if I pick up on any
All
of
right,
those
so
notes.
it captures the spirit of Western frontiers landscapes and the smell of sage after a downpour.
You know what? When you say it like that and I'm smelling it at the same time,
Well, you would know what sage.
I know what sage smells
Yeah.
like. I'm picking
By
up
the way,
a tiny
would
bit
you
of
do,
that.
and I didn't put all of them in, but they all have basically it's like a 3-tier scent combination,
Okay.
like almost like a major, a middle, and a minor, and it's amazing. That
By the way,
they put that amount of work into it.
there are people that it is their job to determine what these combinations are, and they'll test them regularly, and they get paid handsomely. I mean, a lot of money to be able to pick up on certain notes of scent.
Absolutely.
And they're
Like-
tested to make sure that they are indeed, they have that sharp of a note.
You had a story about, I think, one of the world's premier fragrance experts who worked. I forget what it was for, more for women's perfumes, but they were making lots of money. Do you remember the ad campaign for Stetson?
No.
Which was the
cowboy.
Well, the woman like calls into the radio station, and the guy left his hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he had a good smell about him.
But it was a cowboy hat, right?
Yes.
Okay,
It
all
was a
right.
Stetson hat.
It's a
yeah.
Stetson, of course.
Oh, they're going to make sense.
I would just like to point out that I got 100%.
Yeah!
Proud of you.
I got an A+ on that.
I think next
wow.
round I'm going to get an A+.
All right,
Okay.
next round. We tried
All right.
to break them up because
All right.
remembering
So-
what you guys.
Gray flannel was 5?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, we didn't get to go to that. I'm sorry. So
sorry.
number 5 out of
By default,
All right,
default
yeah.
is number 5.
was gray flannel. That was my scent. I loved gray flannel.
Would you like to hear the history of gray
And
flannel?
I hope that I get to keep this bottle when we're done.
I think we'll work something out.
Okay. All right.
Launched in 1975 by Jeffrey Bean. Okay. Gray flannel is classified as a luxurious woody fragrance. This masculine scent possesses a blend of lemon, orange, violet, cinnamon, Nick, you were bringing up
okay.
cinnamon, and rose, accompanied by woody notes of oak and sandalwood.
Oh. By the way, somebody texted in and said Captain Blackfingers just used all these heavily to cover up that skunk and burnt rubber smell.
Oh, they know you so well.
One of the things I loved about gray flannel was it came in a little flannel
little
bag.
bag, yeah.
A little gray
Yeah.
flannel bag.
Good marketing.
Yeah, and I dug that. So we're looking at 2 different pictures. I used the one on the left here in that darker bottle.
Yeah, I think that's what we have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know
Well
what?
done, Preston.
I
You-
like this.
Yeah,
I
there's-
like that scent.
And usually, like when you're going to the fragrance department, you can get the same cologne in 2 different types. And one is an eau de toilette, and the other one is a
Parfum.
parfum.
So there are
and one of
these
them is
distinctions.
Stronger.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You're
one
exactly
is a more
right.
concentrated smell that will stay on you longer.
So-
and I don't know which one that is.
Well, I was talking with Preston. They used to call them like splash-ons or
Yeah.
You know, like Axe body spray is more. It's not a cologne technically, right? It's,
No.
But it's a body spray. It's, that's
there's-
different.
Right. Casey's right. There's different levels, and so I think parfum, Casey, or parfume is the strongest of the three.
Okay.
And then what's toilet water?
That is water that you poop and pee in.
Great flannel is a toilet water.
Yeah,
It says eau de toilette,
Yeah.
toilette spray, vaporizer. So, by the way, I'm so happy. I'm going to start wearing this again. I kid you not. It's going to bring back some memories. By the way, I got a text that says, being in that studio right now would be my nightmare. I'm extremely allergic to fragrance like anaphylactic, EpiPen, go to the
Oh my
ER
gosh.
allergic.
Well, they'd be dead.
Yeah.
They'd be dead. Kathy's barely hanging
Yeah, I was
on.
going to say it is my nightmare, but I'm not like that. I'm not
All
as
right.
bad as that.
All right, so Preston got 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 for Preston.
Yeah,
Well
and I were
done.
2 out of 5.
During this intermission, which, by the way, we can all smell our coffee grounds here.
Okay, good.
Kathy wanted to, we'll take this time to mention a winter activity or something that you participated in, correct?
Yes. So last night, I wanted to get the picture ready. We will put it up on social media. But so this weekend is Chestnut Hill on Ice. It's an event that's taking place. It's on Friday and Saturday. Friday night tonight and all day tomorrow. And they have live ice carvings. There's ice sculptures all down Germantown. MMR.
Thanks, Kath. In a little while, we'll do some more giveaways with Hangry Bear Creamery out of Kennett Square. And not just ice cream. Like, they have fantastic food. They got cocktails. They got the whole package. You can go to hangrybearcreamery.com. And also, they have these sessions you can do creating ice cream. You can have these ice cream parties and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Take it with you. It's really cool. So we thank Melinda for coming by and bringing by some breakfast for us this morning and some dessert, too. We'll give away some more gift cards throughout the morning. And just hang tight for that. I'll tell you how you can win. There was a story that I saw yesterday. I have a couple local stories. It's not really city beat, but I got a couple things that kind of tie together. But
Not quite city beat.
yeah.
Scoobily way woo.
But I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but in Montgomery Township, there is a unique road design that has been implemented. It's on Gray's Lane. It's not too far from where I live. I just haven't been over to see this
Heard about this.
person yet.
Yeah.
And so it's the yellow lines, but they are squiggly all up and down the road. Like, they weave.
Okay.
And it's supposed to they're trying to get people to slow down in the residential area. But Kathy, instead of using, like speed bumps,
Yeah, those
they
pillows,
have painted these curvy lines.
And the road is not curving.
And the road is not curving. At least that's what it looks like from the pictures. I wouldn't mind getting some verification from people who have driven down this road and what it's like. If you can contribute to our conversation, you can text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. I wouldn't mind see if we get somebody on who's going to drive through there and take
see
us.
what it does.
Since we have Zoom capabilities now, maybe we can take a look at what it's like being in your car driving through that area. But it looks stupid.
Okay, so I'm looking at a picture of it, and at least on this portion of the road, which is a small portion, looks about a block, there are the squiggly roads, but you can still drive straight. Like, it's not like
the
you
road
have
itself,
to,
not like Lombard Street in San Francisco. It's not curving.
Right. Listen, before I got into radio, I was a city planner. So
okay, you know.
So I would say this: after the initial, what is this? I'm going to slow down. Once you know what it is, old patterns will return.
Yeah,
it's not like if they had the lines animated so that they undulated as you were driving, perhaps. But once you get used to it, it's not going to be an issue.
Well, I'm looking at some video, and I think the picture maybe is a little deceiving. It looks like the cars do actually have to swerve back and forth to stay in between the lines.
They're not going to, though.
Well, to stay in between the lines,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do,
yeah.
But you just drive over the lines. So
Yeah,
here's the
exactly.
deal. But here's the deal. How firmly are local police going to enforce this? Because if they do, they can get you for crossing the center line.
Sure they can. But what you can do, honestly, if you're driving and you state, so we're looking at it right now to describe what we're looking at. We have a double yellow line in the middle, and then we have the white lines that stop you from, getting adjacent to the sidewalk. If you simply bisect those white lines, you're going to be
Right.
you'll cut across those lines. Now, I don't know if this is a street where cars can park. My guess is no.
Right.
But the that would be the issue. I see people cut lines short all the time and never get in any trouble.
Wait,
Well,
I
you never
don't-
see them get in trouble.
I don't understand
Yeah, you're right.
why they don't just either A, put in those speed pillows or cushions or whatever you call them.
There's got to be a reason why they didn't.
Or why they don't use stop signs. There are cross streets here. You can just throw stop signs in there. The street that I grew up on, President Avenue in Rutledge, for the longest time didn't have stop signs. Right? There were only stop signs on the cross streets, but not on the main drag.
Okay.
And cars would come screaming. Cars! But they would come scream. It was a cut through to get from Morton Avenue to Melrose or whatever, and then they put a stop sign.
Could not agree more. Could not agree because listen, and now if you're blowing off stop signs, there's a whole other world of hurt that is going to come your way. But to me, my take at present, I think it looks stupid, and I think also it looks like the guy who was laying down the lines was drunk on the job.
And I commend them for wanting to slow people down because I try to, when it's a residential area, I don't see any driveways coming out on the road, though. If I see driveways coming out, I back off the speed because somebody could be pulling out. You know, you not only you could, get injured, you could hurt somebody else and so on. So I've learned to chill out a little bit in residential areas. But this doesn't look like, this looks stupid.
You've seen in Europe with the zigzags?
Yeah, but that means no crossing.
No, I got that. Yeah. But still, I think the more that you are, I'll tell you this, and I've mentioned this before on Lincoln Drive. They did this thing with these, they have these pylons and these things sticking out and these weird painted areas that are now closed off. And I see people who have never been on, or at least or clearly seem to be new to the area, like, what? Where am I going?
Right.
Yeah. They get completely confused.
All right, so this was in response, I'm sure we would assume, in response to address community complaints about speeding, right? And so there are houses and residents along this road, and this was the police department's this was their solution to it. And it says, our highway safety officers and traffic engineers have determined that this is the best course of action for the area to ensure the safety of local residents.
All right, so follow up on that with some text that I'm seeing. Somebody had texted and said they don't put the speed bumps down so they can plow.
Yes,
in the winter.
Absolutely.
So that's why they.
Because I was a city planner. I know this.
And then this other text says they can't use stop signs for speed control per PennDOT. And then this says, unfortunately, not in that area now, but it says, tell Casey the speed bumps were turned down. So for whatever reason, they considered it and then couldn't. I don't know if it has to do with the plowing or not, but it might.
Let's harken back, though. Why can't you use stop signs to promote regulation and
speeding? I don't know.
Not to enforce the speed limit. That's a whole different law. You have to stop at it. Would it in turn, have people slow down? Maybe, but they probably can't use it for that.
That's
reason.
why traffic lights are a lot of times are scheduled the way they are to slow down the flow of traffic.
But I had two different areas in where I live in Broomall that they put up the speed cushions. So there's like Old Gradyville Road.
Old
Gradyville Road. They put up, I want to say like 2 or 3 or 4 actual cushions, maybe even more than that. And then over closer to the Lawrence Park Shopping Center in the little neighborhood there, they did the same exact thing. So they plow those streets.
And my neighborhood has speed bumps all the way through it.
Yeah. And they plow around it,
they
right?
plow, they go over them.
It might depend on who's plowing and all of that.
Mr.
The
Plow.
equipment they have.
They need Plow King.
Plow King.
Interesting. As far as I know, I've never seen anything like this before.
No.
It looks a little goofy. And it stands to reason that if you're going to do that, okay, and I mentioned, well, maybe they have a police presence to make sure that people adhere to that. Well, why not just enforce the speed limit?
Just put speed strips up and down the whole road.
Or just why not, the police could be there. And listen, I know that the resources are what they are and they can't be there all the time. But the same thing for enforcing this. You need police officers on scene to enforce it.
Agreed. Because once you become lax with the enforcement, it won't matter.
Yeah.
When you're driving along and you're in an area that you have not been on before.
You're driving along.
Oh, my God. The signs that indicate your speed.
Yes.
That start flashing. Does that have any effect on you?
It does.
Yeah, it does me as well.
I think they're smart, especially there are some that have like a little strobe that will flash too when you've gone above.
And it fires lasers into your eyes.
It does. Sometimes it's like, oh, I didn't realize I was going that fast. And that's kind of what I think it's not going to get everybody, but for some of us who may just, not fully be paying attention to what the speed limit is through the area. I think it works.
For me, I also think it's like an advertisement. So if are there police in the general area back who can see the sign flashing, even anything, it's like that anything that is a deterrent to saying, oh, you're breaking the law, and shame on you.
My neighbor was an officer, but I guess, dealt mostly with the traffic. And I guess those, I don't know if it's all of them or just the ones that were up in my area, but they're collecting data. So when you're speeding by it, it's collecting that data so that I guess things like this, if the community is complaining and they want people to slow down, they're using that also when they're trying to get the information.
We've seen it when they'll literally put, it's like a cable across the street.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and that is to determine
as I'm like,
average speed and traffic times.
Hold on. We got somebody who's there right now.
There we go.
We're going to go to Alex. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning, bud. So you're right there on, what is it, Gray Lane?
So I'm at County Line and Doylestown Road, so I'm about, a minute away. I'm at a
Okay,
stop.
all right. Take us over there if you would, please.
All right, yeah.
Gray's Lane. And
flip the camera.
Yeah, thank you for flipping that around. Are you on the job right now, bud, or where are you going to work, or what are you doing?
Nah, I'm working, man. I'm driving around.
Driving around.
All right, and are you in the area a lot?
Yeah, so I work for North Wales Water Authority, and this is in our system. So.
All right, so you've driven through this before with the
Not
new.
yet. This will be my first.
It's first for everyone.
And you're driving along, la-li-la, woo.
Okay, have you heard any feedback from people about this?
No, not yet. I saw a video on TikTok the other night, and I'm like, that looks awfully familiar. So,
and is it a place where people speed?
I don't think so.
It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it doesn't seem, taking a look at the pictures, it doesn't seem like a long enough stretch.
But you're going 45. I can see your odometer. What's the speed limit there?
The speed limit here is 45. So I'm on Doylestown Road right now.
Yeah, he's not there yet.
To Gray's Lane now. So
He's coming up to Gray's Lane now. Okay, you're going to make a left on Gray's Lane. And we're watching, by the way, if you're on our YouTube account, you can follow along and watch Alex as he takes us on this scenic drive. All right, you're making left here. And
all right.
Everything looks
so
straight.
Here it is.
Okay.
Here's the traffic pattern sign coming up.
Okay.
And it's very residential. There's houses on both sides of the
Get you
street.
up in here.
Yep.
Someone's cut me off.
Driveways.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see it
We
yet,
can
but-
see.
It shrank a little bit, but we can see it. All right. Oh, here it is.
Here we go.
Okay.
How fast are you going?
Do me a favor. Go wee. While you're
18.
All right. 18.
Here's this little second section here. So
Yeah, this is the more austere section.
All right. You know what? The curving doesn't look as severe as it did in the photo.
It doesn't. Yeah. Floor it.
it's quite right. I should just go straight through it.
No, but
it's quite short, but it's there.
Okay.
As you as a driver, again, Preston's exactly right. The picture we were looking at made it look like the curves were right on top of each other. But you driving through it seemed to be a little bit more relaxed. Is that your impression?
Yeah, a little bit. I was going pretty slow, but I'm going to turn around and try it again.
Do me a favor, because some of the houses do have driveways. Drive up on their lawns if you can.
It should, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so here we go.
Perfect in a work truck.
We're now taking our second tour of Gray's Lane in Montgomery Township of this weird little curvy line that they've put as a center line in the road. And Alex is taking us on the tour.
It froze.
Yeah, the bit rate is, when you're moving, sometimes it's... all right, here we go.
Yes.
Now we're back on it again, Alex. We can see it. All right.
He's chuckling.
Yeah, does it feel dumb to be doing this?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't.
I like speed bumps a little better.
Okay.
You do,
but
I hate them.
But it doesn't look ridiculously inconvenient.
No,
Just
it
a little
doesn't.
goofy.
You notice they put up road cones, and obviously they've gone to great steps to alert people that this is now in effect, because there's road cones and signs all over the place.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So.
All right, Alex. We appreciate the tour, brother. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Can you
no
do it
problem.
backwards?
You guys have a good day.
All right, we'll see you later.
Should I?
All right.
All right.
I think that I know we have somebody else there, Marissa, but we already got the tour, so we're good to go.
What do you
Andrew,
think?
I apologize, but thank you. I think that in my neighborhood, that I am responsible for the fact that we have speed bumps.
Really?
What did you do?
I'll tell you what I did. So we were one of the.
What'd you do?
I live in a very large neighborhood. We were one of the first houses in there. I mean, we've lived there for 20 years.
Right.
And so when the neighborhood was being created, we were one of the first of a handful of housing there. So it took years for the neighborhood to build up. I mean, like 5-6 years. And I would, because it was all construction. Everywhere through there was just construction. It was wide open. It was farmland that had been wiped out and taken to nothing. And so on my way home, it's from the front of the neighborhood to the end is about a mile. And I would just fly through there because there were no residents. It was just wide open.
And then as a
clear streets. And I would do 45 miles an hour driving through this neighborhood. And as houses were slowly built up in the neighborhood, I didn't pay it any mind.
60.
I just kept zipping through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Until one of my neighbors came out and started flagging me down. Slow down. She was pissed off.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, F you, man. Like, I've lived here for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I was the original.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you were the one that complained about speeding drivers.
But it didn't dawn on me. Like I'm like, what is she all pissed off about? I'm like, we all drive in this neighborhood.
Yep.
You know, and then
Here, have a beer.
And then she did it again, and I'm like, what's up her ass? And it dawned on me, I'm like, it's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. People live here now. There are kids in this neighborhood. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, the speed bumps went in. I think she was the catalyst for it. I think I was the one that triggered
You
her.
were the scofflaw.
Yeah.
So what when we talk about as classic speed bump, or like you call them the
cushions.
The cushions.
Like the big ones.
Oh, they're the big ones.
The big ones, yeah. I think they have to put those in neighborhoods. I think they have to be those big ones.
So the
I don't like the smaller ones that go bang, bang when you go over those. I don't like those. I like the larger ones.
Or
They're
maybe that's
definitely
just like the older version of it, and these bigger ones are the new version.
They put a series of, I guess, cushions in on a stretch of road where there's a lot of street racing. The problem is, if you're looking to slow down and mitigate traffic that way, you need to make them wider because most cars can pass right over those things, no problem.
Yeah, if you can straddle it perfectly, you don't even feel it at all. My neighborhood actually doesn't have speed limit signs. And then one of the residents there took it upon themselves to put up their own speed limit sign.
I believe that's illegal.
It is.
It was. But they made it like 15 miles per hour.
They put it right next to the post office they started.
Yeah.
They made it 15?
Yeah. No, it's 25.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, so if you're in a residential area or at schools or whatever, and it says 15 or it says 25 usually, I stay close to 25. Didn't you get? I mean, at that point, yes, I understand why you're slowing down. It's usually schools. It's usually kids. I got it.
Yeah.
Some people will go hardcore.
Yeah.
20 or 25. I'm like, come on.
Or are you talking about when the school sign is on, when it's
Then
flashing?
you have to.
Then I
have to.
absolutely to the number. I go to that.
Because they will pull you over.
But yeah, if it's 25 miles an hour, it's more of a wider thoroughfare, and it just so happens to go in front of a school. Yeah, I'll do 30 miles
Listen,
an hour.
I got
whatever.
pulled over one time, and there was a kid's foot sticking out of my grill. I was like, I didn't even see it.
I had no idea.
I was going 55. I was first in the neighborhood.
I did tell my kids, though, once they got to driving age, I'm like, I know that 25 miles an hour seems really, really slow to you. But I go, when you get in the neighborhood, in our neighborhood, you do that speed limit. I'm like, because all these people around here, they live around you. You are going to see them regularly, and you don't want to be tailgating people in your own neighborhood, your own neighbors, and so.
Put it in
They didn't
historical
listen to me.
context. How fast would your average Conestoga wagon max out? How fast would it go?
That's a good question.
There you go.
I don't really know.
No, but you're right. Like, you live with these, you have to see these people every single day.
You don't want to make enemies of your neighbors.
There's that speed demon. He's on the radio.
I had a neighborhood waiver too, Preston. I guess I wasn't fully stopping at the stop signs at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and she took out, because it was dark. This was years ago, but she took out a flashlight and she would shine the flashlight into my car frantically as I drove by. Yeah.
So the gal in my neighborhood, I remember she did it a couple times, and it dawned on me. I'm like, oh my God, she's right. And I was like, all right, the next time I go by, if I see her out there, I'm going to say, hey,
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out to me. To be honest, I've lived here for so long, I hadn't paid attention
Why don't we go inside for some drinks?
that all these houses had popped up and family was here. But the next time, and I plan on doing this.
Yeah.
I was doing like 26. Like 26, maybe 27
Did you
miles an
freak
hour.
out?
Yeah. And I'm like, now I was like, oh, screw you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how fast do you think I was going? So anyway.
See you next Tuesday.
I got yelled at, but I wasn't even in my neighborhood. We were going to a friend's house, and I hadn't really been in the neighborhood before. And it was really weird. It wasn't like a perfect grid.
Yeah.
So I was making this soft left, and I kind of rolled through the stop sign. But, like, again, I wasn't trying to be an a-hole. This dude just starts reading me the riot act. And I was like, what is this guy even yelling about? And blah, blah, blah. So I ended up parking the car, and I went to go have a conversation with him as he's yelling at me. And then he starts like walking away. I'm like, dude, don't be a pussy.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're going to.
Did you say that?
No, but
okay.
honestly.
Excuse me, don't be a pussy.
But honestly, if you're going to do that and you're going to come out and guns a-blazing,
Yeah.
and then I come to have a conversation with you.
You got to hear what I have to say.
I am not a rolling. I come to a full stop. I come to a full stop at stop signs. It's just one of those things I do. I get it. And sometimes at 3:30 or 3:45 in the morning or whatever, you can maybe stop and do a little roll through. But I just always stop. But what kills me though in my neighborhood, there along my street, for many people, those stop signs are simply arbitrary, and they slow down, but don't really slow down and go right through. And we're talking 4-way intersections all the way up and down. You want to kill them.
Here's somebody texting him with an odd speed limit sign. It says Tropicana Atlantic City parking garage is 9 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah. The
9.
Cape May Zoo is 9.
Really?
What is the purpose behind that? To throw you off?
I get just to keep it under double digits, I guess, or
9 times.
9. Anyhow, I thought it was interesting. This is in Montgomery Township. It's on Grays Lane, and some people are they're furious about
I gotta go
it.
to the bathroom, Daddy.
And other people are like, it's weird, it's goofy looking, but whatever. So,
well, seeing it in practice and the gentleman driving it seemed less austere than the pictures would indicate.
It did.
So I'm okay.
By the way, speaking of the lane markings, Steve sent me over an article from the Inquirer about how a lot of pavement markings are missing in Center City. And they have an article about why that is. Many of the heaviest traveled roads with equally heavy foot traffic, especially in Center City, have no crosswalk markings. They were curious why, and they asked some experts, but pavement markers fade over time, of course, or they need to be redone after a street is repaved, and that can make it hard to discern where pedestrian crossing, bike lanes, and driving lanes all are. But the longevity of the pavement marking depends on the material that's used.
Dude, how many times have you been on a street or you're driving in an area and say maybe it's slightly inclement weather and you can't determine where the lanes are?
Sure.
It's infuriating.
So Philadelphia uses thermoplastic, it's called.
That's what I use.
Thermoplastic line stripping is a hard-wearing material for pavement markings that uses heat to make pigments and glass beads adhere to the ground. Despite its endurance, it's a wearable item, so it doesn't last forever. The material tends to fade within 8 years, but Philadelphia's level of traffic, weather, and snow plowing speeds up that fading process, and that results in local markers lasting 3 to 5 years.
Which is not enough time.
No.
Yeah.
Because then you talk about the thousands and thousands of miles that twine around the city. That's a lot of work. It says roadways that see high rates of travel also see the highest rates of wear and tear on the markings and roadway surface. So that's why it's tough to sometimes have.
So there's a parking lot I pull into all the time. They finally relined it, but I mean, pulling in there and determining, there's never enough parking spots because people don't know how to space themselves properly from another car so doors can open up and stuff like that. And so now they finally did it, and you pull in and it's like, oh, that many cars can fit in here when it's properly lined.
Right.
Because it's like, and places actually lose business because people won't go in because, cars are parked on a slant or they don't know what to do. In the morning, if I pull in, I'm pulling in, it's an empty lot. If I get out and I see the car isn't correctly angled because later on someone might have difficulty, I'll get back in, pull it out, and angle it back in the right way because it sucks when you have to deal with that. I don't want to do that to someone else.
Oh, I don't want to get my car dinged. So that's why I would move it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. So, just kind of interesting stuff about the lines on the road. Let's talk about menstrual cycles.
Menstrual cycles.
Yeah.
What is our city doing about that?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that, Steve, because in an effort to end period poverty, a new period pantry has opened in West Philadelphia.
Oh, I think this is wonderful. To me, it still boggles my mind that items for women are not made, are not part of like food stamps and assistance.
Right.
You can't buy that with your assistance. That's
exactly
insane.
Kathy, and that's what this covers. So the new pantry debuted at Health Partners Plans Community Wellness Center. It's at 6232 Market Street. The pantry will provide free menstrual products, education on menstrual health, and access to community health workers who can assist with scheduling women's health appointments.
And some of this money is actually going to the new tampon guns at the sporting events.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a little machine gun.
Yeah,
thing.
Like the Nerf gun present.
Yeah. Lynette, we need to make that.
Fiery tampons?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You absolutely could do. I think that's
Right.
the perfect size.
Would a tampon fit in a Nerf gun? Like you had a Nerf arsenal.
The period pistol.
The period pistol.
No, the Nerf, it's too small.
The menstrual magnum.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think we have a Nerf gun. We have to in the closet.
Oh, I still have a bunch.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We're looking at a video right now. Making
Kathy.
a Nerf gun that shoots tampons. Somebody's already done it.
No, it's not. That's a Nerf gun.
I know.
But he just put a Nerf, what are they called? The little shooters.
It says making a Nerf gun that shoot. This dude's
he
firing
made-
tampons.
Shooting tampons.
I see. He put it in he put the Nerf, what are they called? What's the Nerf shooter called? The Nerf bullet.
I don't know.
Or whatever. He put that in
bullet.
the gun and then added like an extension on the end of the gun
Yeah.
and put the tampon in it.
This is like a super custom, powerful
Dude,
gun. that
he should have
created.
plywood.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, Lynette Medley and her daughter Nia McGlone were the brains behind the new period pantry, and they've both been fighting menstrual insecurity in the Philadelphia region with their organization called No More Secrets. Medley said, we both lived in period poverty. Nobody talked about the inability to afford period products. And according to health officials, period poverty affects 2 in 5 people who menstruate, resulting in missed work, school, and job interviews.
And the price
Shouldn't be.
The price of the products now has skyrocketed. It's it's even more expensive now. Yeah.
A lot of people are using eggs.
People who face period poverty often have to choose between basic needs like buying food or paying for utilities. And over time, this could lead to significant health and mental health challenges, according to officials.
Kathy, is the menstrual cup completely off the table for you now?
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
work?
And I talked to my doctor about it, and she's like, look, it's the shape of your body, and it's not made for everyone, and it's not made for you.
Okay.
Did he also say that your body is a wonderland?
This issue is prevalent in Philadelphia and disproportionately impacts Black and Latina women as well. So the new period pantry on Market Street is free. Anyone can come in throughout the week and pick up what they need. So that's really cool.
Do they have coffee?
That it does not say. But they're at 6232 Market Street. Steve, if you want to stop by for there.
It's a nice thing.
But you have to drink it out of a menstrual cup.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
This is very good.
It's like a little espresso.
Yeah, little tiny thing.
All right, so I thought that was kind of
That is good news.
All right.
And by the way, I just noticed your Tron shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, well done.
It's a recognizer from Tron.
Maybe that could be a period break.
Could be. All right, we are going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. Stephen Weber is scheduled to join us, talk about Chicago Med. And then we have his really cool guest, Kristina Ulmer, who's a teacher promoting the $20 challenge to making national news. We'll find out. You know what? Let's give away some goodies.
Yeah.
Our friends from Hangry Bear Creamery are here. Melinda brought by all kinds of stuff. We have a $50 gift card. You text the word bear to 610 660-9333. If you're looking for a new kind of experience, book an ice cream making studio session. Make your own custom flavor for your next birthday. Team building, group gathering. You can book now at hangrybearcreamery.com. And they have not just ice creams, great food and drink and everything. So
love it.
We'll get you on board. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Floral gardens, they have little they'll have some little huts where some of the businesses are selling things. But I went last night for a preview and they did a WMMR ice sculpture.
No way.
Yeah, so
I
picture of it. It's really cool. It's
You have
gonna
it
be
right there?
Yeah, it's gonna. No, I'll pull it up, Steve. Yeah, so it'll be out there this weekend. And then we went to a brand new restaurant. It just opened. It's called Adelina's. It's right on Germantown. It's a beautiful restaurant. The owner did such a nice job renovating it. The food was delicious. The drinks were great. But Steve, you have a little connection to this person. I don't know if you'll remember him because he was a kid, but his family owned Bella Trattoria.
Oh, yes.
In
Yeah,
Manioc. He
yeah.
goes, I remember Steve coming in all the
All the time.
Steve and Claire.
Yeah.
They would come in. He's like, they would get takeout. They'd sit and eat.
Yeah, we love that restaurant.
I would go
So
there all
it's-
the time too. When my wife lived in
So did-
Manioc.
okay,
Oh my
so did
God!
we. Yeah. So he's
I was so sad when they went away. It was a great Italian
when they
restaurant.
closed. So
Yeah.
the son is the owner, and he's also married to our friend Andrea from the Flyers.
No way.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So so I'm telling you, this restaurant was. It was awesome. Like it looked like it. I'm so happy that it's in Chestnut Hill. You know, it's such a great.
I'm thrilled now too.
Yeah,
because
great.
I live 2 miles away. Yeah.
Yeah, so such a great little neighborhood. But this Chestnut Hill on Ice, again, like I said, it's tonight and tomorrow. They're doing live ice carvings. There's like one of the synthetic ice skating rinks. Everybody, there's warming stations all down Germantown in front of all
is
the
it going to
shopping.
be open? I mean, if the weather's inclement, will they still keep going? Because it's ice, it's snow stuff
Yeah,
anyway.
So they're
I mean,
hoping, they're hoping they can get it in tonight. It starts at 5
All right.
tonight. So they're hoping they can get a little bit of the event in tonight. And then by tomorrow, that's what they were saying. They were worried about the snow, but they're going to try to clear everything out so people can come out.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome.
Love
Yeah.
that stuff. There's some impressive things when you see those ice sculptures.
The ice sculptures, yeah.
I
And
love
they also did Jen Fred's face yesterday. I got a picture of that.
Wow.
Yeah. So the guy apparently is amazing and has been he goes all over the place carving these big ice sculptures. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, we got sniffing to do.
Yeah,
And
we
the
do.
WMO,
Round
we do.
two.
We're gonna continue the sniff test. By the way, here's a text that explains perfume.
Not
and-
quite right.
No,
No.
Okay.
Eau de parfum and perfume. I'm sorry. Eau de toilette and parfum are different, but they're based in the same thing. Eau de toilette is just more diluted, so it's more.
Okay. It's with toilet water they dilute it, right?
Well,
Yeah.
essentially, they just parfum is stronger.
Sure, that
than
makes
eau de
sense.
toilette. Yeah.
We just scooped this out of the toilet.
Yes.
And put it in there.
Smell
Is
it.
there such a thing as prison cologne, Preston? If they're making prison wine, right?
There's got to be. All right, you ready for round two?
Yeah, all right, guys.
All
Start
right, so
sniffing.
the cards have been brought in, and Casey and Nick and I are going to go through these and see if we can identify.
Just to let everyone know, Preston, what this round entails, the scents they are smelling will include Brut, Jupe, Jovan Musk, English Leather, and Aqua di Selva. Now, Kathy, is that Aqua Velva?
Okay, I don't know, but so that's what he gave me. So I searched to see if it was Aqua Velva
Yeah.
or not. I don't think it is. I think it's something different.
Okay, because it does fall. When I did a check of these, what we'll call lower level colognes, this popped up a lot.
There's no Aqua Velva in here. I smelled all 5 of these. There's no Aqua.
Okay.
Velva.
All right,
I could identify that.
All right.
This is hard. I'm not getting. I'm not going to
No.
get.
Casey
correct.
thinks this is his John here.
This
And
is-
why, Case? You think you know several of these?
I'm having a hard time.
So, Steve, you know what I was going to say before is my scent wasn't always like this. In high school, I wore perfume. I remember my perfume was Benetton.
That seems insane to think of you wearing perfume.
Right.
now.
And I actually remember the day where I was like, okay, you can't do this anymore. I went to work. I was working at NBC 10.
Right.
So this was after college. And I had sprayed some of the Benetton and it got like on the collar of the sweater. So it
Right.
wasn't just on my skin. I had the worst day. Gave me such a migraine headache. It was awful. And after that, I'm like, that's it. I can't wear. I certainly can't wear perfume. And then I moved to like the Bath and Body,
Right.
just the sprays, which are much lighter. Couldn't do those.
Should do patchouli. That's always wonderful.
No, and so now obviously I don't
That's
wear
interesting.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even use like scented lotions.
Do you smell my cologne that I have 2 colognes that I wear?
No.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with somebody last night. The way you guys wear cologne, if anybody wears it, for me, you do it the right way. You don't overdo it.
All right.
I could smell it if I get close to you, like when
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
taking pictures, but not at the distance that
All
we're
right.
at in the
I
studio.
think that's the way it should be. So you get your neck sniffed, right, Nick?
I love getting my neck sniffed to this day. I mean, I probably started in high school. I'm sure that it's a Pavlovian thing at this point, but yeah.
The lunch lady just sniffed my neck.
I wonder
Honestly, like if she was into it, bring it over.
It feels good.
Yeah.
I wonder though if because I'm looking at the Brut bottle, and that's not the Brut bottle that I'm used to
You think it changed?
seeing. Well, I don't know because you remember the Brut bottle was
Green.
It was a green, a
Yeah.
dark green, and almost I feel like you couldn't even see through the green. But
Why are you looking at the bottle?
it doesn't It's not
just
doing
says-
anything.
Oh,
No.
all right. Okay.
But I just looked over. I'm like, oh, that's not the Brute bottle. I'm used to looking at.
Preston has definitely got his nose buried in the
Man,
card.
these are hard.
He's working it though. Preston looks like a professional.
I want to smell yours, Nick.
Oh man.
Yeah, smell my neck first,
Yeah.
though.
No, because I want to see if I can get the.
Okay. But could you just smell my neck anyway?
No,
All right.
that's disgusting.
All right, you guys.
Getting close.
I'm
I got
analyzing.
two more to narrow down. I only know one for sure.
Preston's now. Case, your cologne of choice is in this collection as a younger man,
Yeah, Jovan.
or you're still young. I'm the old
So
bastard.
Jovan Musk. There was a young lady that was on my diving team. Her name is Carrie.
Okay.
That I was I liked her.
Yeah.
Smitten.
I was smitten, and
I'll never forget.
she said that she loved the smell of Jovan Musk. And so Kathy, I sprayed Jovan Musk on my Sammy. Sammy is it's a chamois.
chamois,
But Sammy was the brand name of the chamois, and so I did that because she said she liked the smell of Jovan Musk.
Wow.
Of these
And,
five, which do you guys like the least? Because I have a least
Jupe.
favorite. Well, I mean the number-wise case.
What? Number wise?
Yeah. My least favorite is 3.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Interesting.
As a result, I think I have a guess for that.
Okay. Me
But
too.
believe it or not, I'm having a hard time locating Jovan Musk.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I actually switched it. I had Jovan and Brute kind of
make
mixed
your
up.
decision.
Casey's
Yeah.
got them all entered, except
right.
he's
I'm good.
faltering on one.
Final answer.
All right, final answer.
All right.
It's,
So let's start the process here. I think Preston nailed the first round, and Nick, you got 2, right?
Yeah, Casey and I both got 2.
No,
Okay.
we both got 1.
Oh,
No, we got 2.
No, we didn't.
We got gray flannel right. We got 5.
What did you say gray flannel was?
5.
Oh, I did not get that right.
Oh.
I got that wrong.
all right.
all right.
So
I only got 1.
All right. What did you guys say was number 1?
Who you want to start with?
Let's start with you, Preston.
Okay. I had number 1 as English leather. I was going back and forth between it and Jovan Musk, I believe, but I think I went with number 1 as English leather.
I went with Aqua de Selva because I had never smelled that before, and and number 1 I thought was the most unfamiliar, so I went with Aqua de Selva.
Nick?
I went with a total guess and also went with English leather.
Okay.
All right. Number 1 was Jovan Musk.
Oh,
Wow,
damn it.
was it really?
See, Jovan Musk is an oily musk and a standalone fragrance. It debuted in 1973, Preston. Jovan Musk is a luxurious, gentle floral. It is a fragrance every man can use. This masculine scent possesses a blend of spices, lavender, and citrus.
And English leather was the one that I thought for sure I could pick out. That's too bad.
And that's the one that I sprayed on my Sammy, and
Couldn't get it.
no, it just
Couldn't
does
get
not-
laid. All right.
None of us got it right.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So
Damn.
number 2.
Number 2, I think that was the one I'm most confident in. That's Brute.
All right. Nick?
Jupe.
All right, Casey?
That was the one I put as Jovan Musk.
Preston's right.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Yep. Yep.
Brute.
My
Oh,
dad
man.
used to use Brute. He was a Brute
All right.
and a Old Spice guy.
So Brute Cologne launched by the design house of Fabergé in 1964. Brute is classified as a flowery fragrance. This masculine scent possesses a blend of citrus, top notes with hints of spice. Yeah, Brute. It's like, why not name it Masher?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cad.
Casey almost had it right.
I had that Brute was my first guest,
You crossed it out?
and I crossed it out.
Son of
You
a
know,
bitch.
you know what? See, now, speaking of stupid names for
Yeah.
colognes, in the movie 9 to 5, the boss in the dream sequence said the roles are reversed, and she goes, "Ooh, you're wearing some lovely cologne. What is that?" And he just has this stupid look on his face. He goes, "Stud," which would have been like what a cologne
Yes,
would have been.
oh
called.
my God.
Brute, stud. Come on.
What are the ones in Anchorman?
Oh my God, Sex Panther. Yeah.
Smells like what?
Bigfoot's D.
Yeah, like a burnt hair wrapped in a dirty diaper or something like that.
All right. Number 3.
I'm wrong again.
Number 3 I put as Jupe.
Okay. Casey?
I'm wrong because I wrote it as Brute.
All right.
But my initial, I was wrong with that as well. So
And Nick?
Yeah, I had that as Jovan Musk, so I'm wrong as well.
Number 3 is Aqua de Selva.
Oh, damn it.
Which seems to be the wild card here. It is an aromatic fougere fragrance by Aqua de Selva, launched in 1949. The top notes are lemon, basil, bergamot, lavender, rosemary, with middle notes of pine, thyme, clary sage, cloves of geranium, and the base notes are peat, vetiver, and cedar and musk. That's how complicated these scents are. That's ridiculous.
What, peat, like from an Irish bog?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a minute. What the hell does this mean? Here's a text that says Jovan Musk was Tukey oil back in the day.
Oh, for your...
what the hell is Tukey oil?
I guess getting laid, right? Tukey?
I don't know. I've never heard the term Tukey before.
Look that one up.
Tukey oil.
All right. We move on to number 4. Casey.
Motor oil.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, Tukey oil.
Yeah.
So I think number 4, I think that's what jupe is.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Man. Well, if you think that's jupe, then I'm wrong because that was your favorite. I put English leather.
I put it as Jovan Musk, and so that's wrong,
Right.
correct?
Nick?
I said Aqua de Selva, so I'm wrong as well.
Casey's right.
So
Number 4 is...
4 was jupe.
No, 4 is English
Oh,
leather.
4 is English leather. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
All right, English leather was originally created in the 1930s by the Vienna-based MEM company because the scent was similar to Russian saddlers to tan leather. It was originally called Russian leather. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
I'm smelling this now.
Nostalgic?
Yeah, I'm
No?
way off. I'm way off on it. No,
Well, and
that
now
one
that
doesn't
I
bring back a memory.
I smell 5 that it's
All right.
jupe.
All right. So number 5,
Number 5 is
obviously.
jupe, right?
Right.
That is jupe. I got that one right because I just remember I didn't like the way it smelled. And I wanted to because it was a very, very popular cologne at the time, but I was like, I just can't get into it.
And it's right in the pocket case for you. It debuted in 1986. Created by designer Wolfgang Jupe. That's where the name comes from. In Hamburg, Jupe possesses a blend of exotic spices, florals, woods, patchouli, Kathy, and honey. It says here, very, very masculine. So what is the tabulation here on that round?
By the way, some people are texting in, or somebody did, that jupe is actually pronounced yop.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
Yes. So, whatever.
Let's go with that.
All right. Casey, how many did you get?
In that round, I got 2 right.
All right. In that round, I got 1 right.
0 for 5.
0 for 5 on that
Yeah.
one. Nick, what's your final tally?
2.
Casey?
2 out of 10.
What's your final tally?
2. No, 3.
3
Sorry.
out of 10.
All right. And I got 6.
You aced the first round.
Well done.
I'm disappointed in round 2, but man, I went 5 for 5 in
5
round
for
1.
5.
I'm pretty proud of that.
Did you
fact.
get a lot of, as you guys were smelling the various scents, probably more so for you, Preston, were you, was it setting
memories?
off? Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, especially with Old Spice, Gray Flannel, and Brute.
Any memories of you with a girl saying, but the big game's tomorrow?
That never happened to me when I would have been wearing scents as this. But no, I remember. Listen, I when I put on Old Spice, I do, like I said on Sundays sometimes after getting out of the shower and a shave, I'll put on Old Spice and I think about being a little kid and being in the bathroom and my dad would shave and put that stuff on, and it's just a nice memory,
I remember I'd be in there, I'd be grooming my dad's pubic hair as I did on Sunday morning.
Sure, yeah.
you were the right height for that.
On Sundays.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Fun little walk down memory lane with this stuff.
The name of the guy at the kiosk, Kathy, again?
Perfume Island
Yeah,
is what it's called, correct?
Yep, and his name is Ali, and he's right in the Plymouth Meeting Mall on the first floor.
Okay.
Did you ever have someone tell you that your cologne they didn't like it, or that it was too much, or that it
Thanks, Catherine. Yeah, we're watching the Nobody's Fool video right now, and they had the best hair. Cinderella had the hair, man.
And listen, it's a trope of the era, but I do miss the classic rock chick in the videos.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that was definitely had to be in all of the videos.
Every
at the
one
time.
of them,
Had to have a
yeah.
hot girl wearing the rock and roll duds. I want to see the guitar flip here. I think
it's coming up.
Yeah, any second now. Well, I mean, the whole video looks the same as you're watching it, so I'm not sure at what point they are in this. But I just remember freaking out over that. Real quick, I want to reiterate something, an announcement we made earlier this morning while we were waiting for our, our guest to join us. We have announced it's Preston and Steve's 20 money.
20 money!
This is your chance to win $1,000 5 times a day. It starts on Monday, and it's in celebration of our little radio program having a home for 20 years here at WMMR.
Oh, my God.
I know.
I remember when we first got off the train, you and I got some money together.
Yep.
And we're going to be going to the big city.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Yeah, we had our clothes and little pouches on sticks.
So starting Monday, we will announce a keyword, and it's going to be 5 times a day, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. at those times. And then we'll give you until 25 minutes after the hour to enter that. And there are 3 ways for you to do it. You can do it through WMMR.com. through the MMR app on your mobile device, or, of course, you can text it to a special contest short code number, which is 45911. We're not going to use our regular text number for that. And it is sponsored by United Tire and Service. So that is going to be starting on Monday. So get yourself set for that.
This just in, Preston. They just did the flip.
Oh,
I missed it.
I would say maybe.
All right. Sam will back it up. Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I never had the balls to try that.
You
I mean, I'm not.
You couldn't do that with the drums,
dude. I'm not a guitar player, but I did, play guitar a little bit. Wait, your acoustic guitar? You would let me do that? No way.
This is our acoustic guitar.
Oh,
yeah, man.
All right.
I'm gonna hurt. I'll hurt myself
for you, bro.
And by the way, I don't think you're supposed to do it with an acoustic.
Not an acoustic. It's too. The body's too wide. But try it.
Oh no.
By the way, someone get a cold compress.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. I don't. This is gonna. The head sock's gonna hit me in the head.
You need more room.
Well, I'm not gonna do it.
He's not doing it.
You're not going to do it?
Dude, I'm gonna hurt myself.
You can do
I'm
it.
taking a golf trip in a week and a half.
All right.
And if I can't play,
Kathy will do it.
No,
The broadcasting world was stunned this morning as Preston Elliott strangled himself to death on the morning show.
I don't know if anybody's ever tried to. All right, I'll give it.
All right, here we go. Preston's walking around.
After
He's
he just
getting
said
into
no.
position. He's going to try to do a Cinderella guitar flip.
Oh, God.
All right,
If you hurt yourself, I apologize. Okay.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Oh! He hit himself right in the head. Right in
what
the head.
exactly he feared would happen happened. He clocked his head with the body of the guitar. Oh my!
You're right, dude. He nailed himself in the
Did you
head.
guys? I'm sure the listening audience heard that bong. He said that would happen.
I'm sorry about that.
Why did you, Casey and Kathy egg him on?
That hurts.
Dude, it's
And I can't stop snorting either.
That's why they're using electric guitar.
Dude, that would hurt even more. The electric.
No,
They're
it would be a thinner body. It wouldn't hit me. It would have gone all the way around.
It's heavier. It will go all the
It's
way
just
around.
wider. That's the thing.
That's
Casey.
the problem.
It would have hurt more because it's denser wood. Yes.
Well, Pastor, you should have brought that up.
Shut up. All right, is Steven Weber on yet? He's supposed to be on now. Stop taking video. Marissa's shooting video. Are you going to try it?
Well, I think we need
All right,
to make
I'm
this.
not gonna
listen.
try it. I sound like
You owe it to
Mikey.
him after making him do that.
Now you're gonna.
I'm
do
not
it?
going to do it. No.
Oh.
Oh, dude. All right, I don't think it's concussion level, but that hurt.
All right,
I'm
you want me to
doing
do it?
I'm doing it.
Oh, shut up.
Didn't even hit myself in the head or nothing.
Super slow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
tender.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm tender there.
You're gonna need So don't kill your golf trip.
Okay. Oh, I already.
Oh, what happened?
I was at just the driving range hitting golf balls, and I pulled something in my ribs, man. So I'm like a week and a half away from the trip, and I'm not going to touch a golf club before going because we're going to be playing like 36 holes a day.
And who are you going with?
My buddy Jim.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yep.
He's a doctor, is he not?
He is a doctor.
Okay, so there you go.
Well, that's good.
Well, he's a neurosurgeon, so
Well, that's good. A
Well,
little
you need that.
neurosurgery.
I need it now.
Yeah.
You're right.
Is he a lawyer as well? Is that
He is,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so then he can he can also sue himself for malpractice.
Well,
No,
no,
he'll
no,
sue
he-
Casey for making me do it.
Yeah, workman's comp. He can get your workman's comp, and then he'll
There you
take care
go.
of your
You're
head.
covered.
And work on my head. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. You know, I still have a lingering injury from. Remember, I was touting the thing, the snow pusher during the snowstorms. This device that's kind of like
yeah.
and it's great. I love it. But I still have a lingering injury in my right wrist.
From pushing that thing around.
I didn't realize.
Case, what's the story with our guests?
So we have new phone numbers. They're trying to get in touch with me. I'm trying to get in touch with them. So,
He's going to Zoom, right?
No, it's a phone interview.
Oh, no.
See, this is a lot of times they'll
Hang
call
on.
in and think that we have phone lines.
Let me get the phone.
Yeah.
It's on Zoom.
Oh yeah, if he's calling on that, get it.
Carla, can you get me Steven Weber?
Clara.
Jesus Christ. By the way, we are a major market morning show.
We are. It
Yeah.
doesn't have phones.
They don't have phones.
We're an entire company that doesn't have phones.
Yeah,
is true.
Everyone in the cluster.
I mean,
Yeah.
and everyone,
XTU, MGK, Ben FM,
Fanatic.
us, Fanatic.
But it's our gimmick. It's our thing.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't use the phone.
The best of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and no phones. That's the selling point.
I need to see that video.
Are you tired of listening to radio stations that have phones?
I want to see that video of me hitting my head with that guitar.
Well,
I thought it was going to be. I know I said I was going to hit my head, but I thought it was going to be the headstock, the top of the guitar, not the
body,
the big thick base of the guitar to nail me in the
I
head.
know Marissa's juggling a lot, but Marissa, if at some point you can isolate the. Oh, wait. Here we go.
All right, we'll watch the video. I want to see this. Oh, my God.
With your head.
Well, it looks like it just clicked. Yeah,
you can
it got
see
me
clearly.
good.
Yeah.
It got me good.
Look at them zooming in on you.
Oh, man. Boom. I'm an idiot. You know what? I've always wanted to try that, though. So,
Well,
I guarantee you, I think I've actually done it with my brother's electric guitar, but it's a thinner body, a much thinner body.
I think we have an electric guitar if you want to try that.
No.
Okay, all right.
Don't you understand? He's playing golf. He's going on a big golf trip.
Now, if you have a keytar, maybe I'll do it with that.
Yeah. How about a piccolo?
All right, I need to know what we're going to do.
You need to get the audio, though.
Is our other guest here?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay, so if we don't get Stephen on here, we can put her on instead.
Stephen Weber is a friend of the show. I know it's a great interview.
And I would like to talk to him, but
because he would have talked. He actually is on a show where he plays a physician.
Oh, that's right.
He could tell you how to treat your massive head wound right now.
Let me make sure there's no blood. Okay, it's not wet.
Okay, all right.
But it's probably
it's just-
swollen.
Yeah, it just gave you a little
noodle.
little knot on your head.
Right, it's a little kong. That's what
a little
happened.
Casey's now. We have a whole staff working on getting
This
Stephen
is
Weber.
crazy that we can't have a guest on because of this.
Listen,
and
not
it's
every
taking this much.
not every company has phones.
I want to congratulate myself on being able to hide my utter anger
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
and not explode
You are.
because of the continued issues that we have. And I'm not blaming our staff around here, the engineering staff, because they're working as hard as they can.
Oh, the poor engineers. They're here
Yep.
like all hours trying to get this worked out.
I blame the money. I blame the people that are in control of the money. So whatever, man. All right, looks like we're going to get Stephen Weber on for like a 2-minute conversation, I guess.
It's going to happen.
Via
It's
Zoom?
going to be on the phone, but it's going to be audio. Actually, it's going to come up on the Zoom, right? It's
Okay.
going to come up on Zoom, but it's going to be audio only.
I got it.
And unfortunately, this thing was supposed to start, 7 minutes ago.
I know. So we're going to get like, a 2-minute interview with him.
Yeah.
But 2 minutes with Stephen Weber is better than
10 minutes with a loser.
Yeah. So it'll be all right. Marissa's kind of sitting there resting her chin on her hand and meaning nothing doing.
We started the show, we said one thing. It was our edict right at the beginning. We will always make time for Stephen Weber and Tim Daly.
I see a thumbs up. So that means that we are very, very close. And just
that's
a moment.
it.
We'll get him on the line
But
here.
not quite there yet.
No, but I'll go ahead and turn it on and up just for when we are able to hear. But Marissa's holding up her index finger. That is usually an indicator of we are almost there, folks.
So close.
Yeah.
That's what they did right before the Apollo 11 launch.
One second, guys.
Yeah.
We're
We're gonna be
almost
on our
we're gonna
way to the moon.
We're going to be going to the moon here in mere moments. All right. In the meantime, I will remind you we'll do some more giveaways in a little while.
Why don't you do your tribute to Cinderella?
From Hangry Bear, we'll do more giveaways. Hangry Bear Creamery. What?
They have a flavor, and it's out there. It's Schuylkill, something Schuylkill. But
funny.
It is tremendous.
Schuylkill River Surprise.
Amazing.
I've got to try it. All right. Is he on? Oh, my God.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dean Archer is joining us from Chicago Med. No, you know him better as our good friend, Mr. Stephen Weber.
Yeah.
Stephen, can you hear us? Nope. No.
As the clock ticks away,
That's
that
it.
opportunity.
It is 9:18 and 35 seconds.
We're going to lose Stephen Weber.
Do we have until 9:20?
Let me try this now.
I'm right here.
Oh,
There he
okay.
is. Yeah.
Hey, we got you, Stephen. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What's going on over there?
We have been without phones.
Stephen, I just tried to. You remember in the old '80s videos where the rock guitarists would take a guitar and throw it around their shoulder, whip it around their back. I just tried that and conked myself in the head. Never done it before.
No, you're too old for that.
I know. Way too old. Trying to relive the glory days. But since you're a doctor, do you recommend I do anything?
Yes, I recommend first pay me, and then I'll come over there and check it out, man.
You are a doctor, aren't you?
Well, listen, yeah, right. We apologize for the technical issue, which means we have a short window with you here. But no, we had a chance to talk to you not too long ago. And we love anytime we get a chance to chat. So thanks for coming on.
So we'll cut right to the chase. The episode, The Book of Archer, which airs tomorrow. This concept is pretty wild. Explain what the conceit of the episode is, Stephen.
Essentially that they're focusing on one character from getting up in the morning to going to sleep at night, and all the challenges and travails, both personal and professional, that he encounters. And it's a good way to do a deep dive into characters that people have seen, not milling around, but interacting with other characters. So it's basically just focusing on one person as opposed to everybody else. Although everybody else on the show, who the viewers know and love, obviously are part of it and they interact, but the focus is more personal.
No, and it's a stellar cast, and I love the fact that you do have an ensemble like this. You have Oliver Platt, who is just terrific, and you guys, it has to be cool. Both lengthy careers, and to be in this sort of situation. Do you ever kind of just get some time together to just sort of celebrate the fact that you're still going? I mean, he has the Bear as well. To be at this point in your careers and still be vital and putting out great work.
Well, all the time. The amount of gratitude on this show is kind of overwhelming. It's not an easy time for everybody in this country, but it's also very hard in this industry, which is going through a major change. A lot of much better actors, with much longer resumes, aren't working right now, and so we're very, very grateful that to be working for as long as we have been, and on a show of such good quality.
Is it so? We've asked this before, but is the resurgence and the recycling of medical dramas? We just had the original Dr. Kildare. I'm having a Richard Chamberlain. Sorry. Passed. I mean, and these have been a mainstay of television drama forever. But it really comes down to the most obvious things about the human drama. Is that what you connect to on this?
The short answer is yes. The long, the longer flowery answer is yes. You're absolutely right. I mean, it is that basic, and but it lends itself to great drama, and as opposed to the earlier days of Dr. Kildare, Marcus Welby. After with the advent of a show like ER back in the day, stories and the storytelling has become more gritty and more personal. And Chicago Med has a great formula that people love. It's the Dick Wolf formula, and this year they've been trying to imbue it with a little more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, mature or adult, certainly grittier, more personal aspects, and that's typified by this, or exemplified by this next episode that's coming up.
Well, we will certainly tune in.
Yeah.
We owe you a make good on this one for whatever else comes down the pipe that you want to promote.
Yeah, you do. You do all me.
All right.
Collect. I'm going to collect.
I got to collect.
All right. We love you. Thanks, Stephen. Stephen Weber, guys. Yeah. Real quick conversation with him, but the Book of Archer episode airs tomorrow at 8:00. I do like it when shows do that. It's an ensemble cast, but they'll focus in on just one character for the entire episode. I love that type of thing.
I do as well. One of my favorite episodes, I know you're a Next Generation fan, is a day in the life of Data's day, basically, and how they interact with everyone. I love what they call bottle episodes. Daredevil just did one that the majority of it took place in a bank. I like those episodes because they allow you to see the character with different interactions, and it just puts them in a different light, and that's always, especially if you're a fan of the show, you love to see that.
Yeah, and in fact, during the interview, you would mention the Bear.
Yeah,
and that one episode with the one lady.
Yes,
the Bear.
it was tremendous.
Yeah,
no.
The older woman who works,
comes into her
how
own
she
and
got
her
the
family.
job. That was a wonderful episode.
Amazing episode.
Can't wait for that show to come back around. All right, Case. When are we talking to our next guest?
I can bring her in now, or we can do
I mean,
her-
it says on our little schedule here 8:30,
No,
9:30.
9:30.
I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
was that the plan?
I
Or-
guess so. Let's do it.
I'm so sorry that it's
we're all
that things are playing out.
You
like
have
this.
just had a major concussion. You can't be held responsible for your indecisiveness.
You got to hear what that sounded like.
Do we have the audio?
We have audio of it?
No, Marissa will get it eventually.
Okay.
But
No, I heard close up what it sounded like.
yeah, it
but I
sounded
would-
different to you than it
It did. It sounded
the rest of us.
thunderingly loud.
Do you remember El Kabong?
From my perspective. Wait.
El Kabong was an animated character. And would smash a guitar over people. Yeah, El Kabong. Yeah.
It was a horse.
A horse, yeah.
It actually was
What?
my older brother's.
Was it Quick Draw McGraw? A cousin?
Maybe.
Okay.
But we used to call him El Kabong. That was a nickname of his. Yeah. Let me ask you, Press. When you got clocked in the head, could you smell it by any chance?
No.
Did you smell burning toast?
So no.
Okay.
No, because the one time I was laying on the netting of the catamaran, we were down in Anguilla.
Yeah.
And I was just laying there,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was my
all of a
fault.
sudden I just smelled pain because Preston had decided to just drop onto the netting.
No, I think I did a somersault.
Oh, you did a somersault.
And then I banged your head. We banged heads.
I had no idea it was coming.
It sucked.
It was horrible.
That was worse than this.
Okay.
That was worse than getting in the head with a guitar.
Was this your payback for that?
Yeah.
Finally.
I've been waiting.
I waited in the lurches.
A dozen years later. All right. Well, listen, our next guest is here, and we are happy to welcome. Talk about doing some good in the world. This is such a great story, and getting some national press as well. She is a local teacher, and she has created the $20 challenge. It's a beautiful story behind this. And there's a donation that you can make to help forward this. We would like to welcome first and foremost Kristina Ulmer to our show this morning.
Thank
hello,
you.
hello, Kristina. It's nice to see you.
Hi. First, I have to make sure you're okay because from the angle
Not
back there,
really, yeah.
I'm teaching my students about empathy. So I mean, that was not great.
I know. Well, listen, a little bit about you. Where do you teach?
So I teach at Happer Horsham High School.
Okay.
I'm a English teacher, mostly 9th grade, but all grades too. But yeah, so
How long have you been doing that?
20 years.
20
Wow.
years. 20 years. This is my
Yeah.
20th year.
So
You do
20th
not
year
look
minimum.
old
Oh,
enough to be
thank
doing that
you.
for 20 years.
Thank you.
Wow. So it's a beautiful story. It unfortunately comes with tragedy. It was born out of tragedy. Can you share what exactly took place?
Sure. So 10 years ago, my sister, my only sibling, died in a car accident in Northeast Philly. She was driving to her boyfriend's apartment and unfortunately just passed away. And so when we went to the accident scene, we didn't know that she had passed away. We got there, we learned she died, and I asked the police officer to go into her car and grab her belongings because I wanted her things. And when I got home, I discovered she had a wad of cash in her wallet. She was a waitress on the side, and she must have waitressed that morning. She had all her tip money. And so I knew I wanted to do something with the money. I didn't know what yet. I knew it had to be something for good because my sister was always a very empathetic person from the time we were very little, like always concerned with others.
Her goal was to be an EMT, right?
Yeah, she actually put herself through EMT school right before she passed away. And yeah, she would volunteer at our local food bank. She just always concerned with others.
Just a wonderful soul.
Yeah, always. Yeah, wonderful soul. Very deep, deep old soul.
Was she older or younger than you?
Younger,
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
3 years younger, yeah.
Wow.
So I knew I wanted to do something with the money. I didn't know what. So I put the purse, wallet, all that stuff in this cabinet in my living room, and it sat there.
Yeah.
And then 4 years went by, and I had this particularly amazing group of students. We were reading a book called Fahrenheit 451.
It's one of my absolute favorite,
It is
Ray
my
Bradbury.
favorite novel. And even though it was written 70 years ago, in the story of the book, everyone's addicted to their screens. They walk around with earbuds in their ears. They are very anxious and depressed.
The parallel.
Very
Yeah.
familiar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and everybody lacks empathy. They have no connection to each other. They have more connection to the people in their screens than the people in their lives. So I was telling my students about empathy and making connections with others. And then this idea came in my head to use my sister's money to teach my kids this lesson. And so I went to the bank and I exchanged the wad of cash for 20s. And I gave each of my students $20, and I told them to do an act of kindness with it. And so they did, and they did amazing things. And I thought it was just one and done thing. But then people started giving me donations to do it with the next set of kids. And I've been able to do it every semester since, so twice a year. since the fall of 2018.
It's wild to see the students listen, and we've been doing the show a long time, so the human spirit, when motivated to do something on behalf of other people, it's there. It's sometimes it's inert, sometimes it needs to be activated through different methods, but it's there, and people will pull together and do these wonderful things, and we've seen it time and time again. But to see the kids get excited about this, authentically excited. It's not a gimmick. And 6ABC did a little video about you as well and about the students. It's so pure and honest, and it's a twofold thing. They're doing this on behalf of people that they really care about, and they're getting very inventive and creative ways and stretching money, say the way Phil Abundance does for people. But they're learning how to budget.
Yes. Yeah. Especially in today's economy.
Right. Will they pull their money together?
Yes, I have a lot of students who will do that. I've had as large as groups of 5 or 6, kids get together and put their money together.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the more interesting things that you've seen that they put the money towards?
Yeah, so in talking about trying to stretch a dollar, I've had a couple kids who will figure out ways to take the $20 and then make more money to be able to do something bigger. So this past fall, I had 2 students who came together. They bought $40 worth of cookie supplies to bake cookies, and then they sold the cookies at a local barbershop in hopes to pay for some of the adoption fee for a local shelter for a dog.
They're learning business.
Exactly right. And they made more than they even intended. They made over $300 just selling cookies. Yeah, and paid for the entire adoption fee. So things like that are really cool. Kids, a lot of them support local food pantries. And I had some kids who use their skills. So one girl learned how to knit, and she knitted hats for premature babies in the NICU. So just doing things for, supporting shelters and people who are struggling in their lives.
Just a question, because this is in the honor of your sister's legacy.
Yep.
Had she gone on, I'm sure she would have done this and tenfold. But is her name attached to this in any way other than the challenge?
No, not yet. That is my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I've gotten enough donations. I think that I could do this until I retire. I'm almost there.
Right.
And then my ultimate goal is to start a foundation in her name and where I could help other teachers. Because I've had a lot of teachers from all over the country, really all over the world, reach out to say, what can I do to do this? I want to do this with my students, and how do I get money? Because the money thing is the big deal, right?
Well, it's a brilliant thing. And again, if you can be, in the world of business, you have a motivation. And so how to parlay that, and how do you, again, with the cookies at the barbershop, and who do you talk to? And then along the way, to have that be beneficial and charitable to other people, I mean, it's the best confluence of things you could possibly have.
Yes, and I've had, there was a teacher in Delaware who actually reached out that she saw the story on Action News and then did it on her own. She found a local business to donate money to her class, and she gave her 5th graders money, and they all did acts of kindness. So that is awesome. I love that other teachers are finding ways to do it. It's hard to get money. We don't make a lot of money as teachers. So, any help would be great. Yeah, anyone wants to donate money, that would be lovely.
The website is PledgeCents, CENTS.com. And I would imagine that's kind of an ultimate goal, getting as many teachers as possible in as many different towns and communities to do the same thing.
Yes, that would be great. I had a professor in Germany reach out that he's going to do it with his students.
Wow.
In June. So, I mean, all over the world. I mean, I think our world needs more kindness right now.
And with that comes, as you said, the interaction of companies, and that'll kick in and do it. I think it has to. You don't want, okay, kids, you're each getting $2 million.
No.
It lives and breathes in the purity of the accessible. It's something that we're very aware of with the Camp Out for Hunger. We are forever indebted to the large corporations that help out, but it lives and dies by the organic grassroots contributions and that connection to people helping people.
Yes.
So that would be, I'm sure, what your sister would want as well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I did want to mention, because I was listening earlier, the period pantry that you were talking about. One of my students, when she got the money, she contacted a local women's shelter and discovered that women, lack feminine hygiene products. She was so upset by this. And I think a lot of the times the things the kids end up doing, it's because they do research and they discover, there are people suffering out there in ways they had no idea.
Right.
And so she ended up spending the $20 on period, on pads and tampons. And
Wow.
she's 14 years old, and it opened her eyes
That's amazing.
to what people are going through. So, yeah.
Your a teacher's responsibility is to give kids enough exposure to things that might help them lead down a path of being productive and self-sufficient and all of that stuff. But a residual effect to what you're doing is maybe planting the seeds of, like we said, of kindness, of empathy, and maybe somebody might make a career out of this type of thing as well.
You could be. I mean, listen. The truth of the matter is that for charities to be, successful in many ways, when they get of a certain size, people who run charities and are active in them, it is a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 360. It is a very time-consuming thing. My wife has two, charities that she runs, and it's really time demanding. So it is a good lesson to learn early on, and you could be generating the great charitable organizations of the future.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider that. Yeah. I just want my kids to be able to grow up and become adults who are connected to each other and, look out for their neighbors and realize that people around them are going through things and they can do something small just to make their lives better. So
Have you got any feedback from parents who were like surprised to see that their kids were this into it?
I've had moms call me crying on the phone, because I have the students record a little reflection about what they did and what they learned. And a lot of the parents don't realize that until I send the video out. And so, yeah, lots of responses from parents because you're not used to especially I teach 14 and 15-year-olds. And I have a almost 14-year-old at home. They don't want to talk to you. So, they're not used to their kids talking like that. Yeah.
You mentioned Fahrenheit 451. I mean, that is one of the seminal books in my life. I've loved it. Have you ever seen the Francois Truffaut movie,
Yes.
which is brilliant?
Yep.
And it is that. It's the disconnecting and losing that ability. And sadly, by no fault of their own, kids lost a lot of the ability to interact during the lockdowns and all that stuff and are still trying to make up for lost ground. So this is a wonderful thing.
Yes. And I do see kids connected to each other. I do think we stereotype teenagers. I think all of us are addicted to our phones.
Yeah.
Right. And we tend to put that on children a lot. But I think it's a good lesson for us to look up from our screens and look at each other.
My youngest recently, and I thought this was pretty cool, on their own, decided to get this app that locks them out of social media after a certain amount of usage. And I'm like, that's awesome. Good for you. So they realize that this is, they're noticing a pattern in their own lives that's going, hey, you got to reel this back a little bit. And
Now,
self-governed with that.
Look for an app that can help you learn how to treat head wounds. Yeah. We're going to have a win-win.
Not a wound, more of a slight injury, So do you need help with this besides donations? I mean, obviously, I'd mentioned the website pledgesense.com, but do you need assistance in people?
Yes. Any assistance would be great. Anyone who can reach out to me who can help me set up a foundation, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's fold this in a little bit and see what we can do and get the word out and have a presence on the site and hit things that you have coming up. And I mean, because it's also, as with anything, it's the money, but it's also the rolling up the sleeves. It's also the helping implement ideas that these kids might have, and help facilitate that.
Yeah, that would be great. And if anyone has organizations out there where my students could, do something, because they're always looking for ideas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's excellent.
And by the way, if Abbar Horsham gets chosen for coolest teacher, I know who's probably going to win.
There we go.
Come on. You ready for summer, by the way?
Oh, yes. Always ready for summer.
When's the last day of work?
Oh, June 23rd.
Oh,
I think.
yeah, something like
counting?
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
It's only a billion hours away.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Well, good on you. This is great. And you're getting some well-deserved coverage on this. But obviously, the more you get, the more it helps. And you'll take every bit of it. So pledgesense.com. That's PLEDGES or CENTS.com, and you can help out Kristina. So congratulations on the great work and continued success with this.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for what you guys do, because I know, like, driving to work in the morning, it can be exhausting. You wake up early, but like listening to you guys, I mean, I'm happy going to work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It means the world.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kristina Ulmer, let's hear it for her. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a second. Bizarre File stories are on the way.
No,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
anybody outright say anything like that.
So going back to earlier, my South African friend Mike lived with me for a little while, and I had to tell him because he used so much cologne. I was like, it's the whole house, and you smell great, but like it is giving me a headache. Could you just maybe like just a little bit less?
Just a little bit.
Oh, he was like, oh my god, and he was so nice. He's, oh, I'm so sorry. Like the one spritz less wasn't
Wow. Much better now.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow, thank you for joining us on our little olfactory journey. We have other things to get to, so I do want to take a break because we got to get to the Bizarre File, and we have a few guests that are going to be joining us as well, and we'll give away our Word of the Week prize today, too. And don't forget, it's a fill-in-the-block weekend at MMR. Blocks all weekend long. You don't want to miss out on that, so heads up, you get to contribute to that. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's Kat. So every now and then a news story will pop up, and I will know that people want us to talk about it because they send me the article over and over and over. And yesterday it was brawl at Golden Corral Steakhouse in Bensalem, Pennsylvania.
It's a steakhouse?
Well, not really.
We had just been talking about
It's a
Golden
buffet,
Corral,
but
right?
Yeah, but they're known for steaks.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But yes, it's one of those places you can go in and get your steaks, and it's like Sizzler or Sizzling.
Well, we were talking to somebody
Sizzler,
about
yes,
it, and I forget exactly what we were talking about.
We were actually looking to see, because we said there were none in this area,
Right.
and then I found this one. I said, there's actually one in Bensalem.
And so that, look at it.
And this is the
We might
one-
have
I think we did
circuitously
this.
caused the brawl.
So, and how
by
many
getting
points-
people so excited for Golden Corral.
Kat, how many points did you guys get awarded? Did Bucks County get awarded just for having a Golden Corral? I think it was like 10 points.
They didn't get.
I don't think
They
so.
did. No, they did.
No.
As a
Hold
matter
on.
of fact, you
Oh my God,
spitefully gave them points because I was like,
Oh, God.
because whatever. I don't want to get into it, but
All right.
but they get points just for having a Golden Corral.
Marissa, do you remember?
Wait, I'm pulling up the official Word document. Delco versus Bucksco. On 126, 5 points for having an old school buffet, Golden Corral.
Oh,
Okay. All
my
right.
God.
So I
and
got-
then a
and then
brawl. So here's the deal.
You can't take them away.
The way the point system works for
You
the Bi-County Cup is we don't take away points, we only give points. So we're avoiding the negative.
Well,
and we're
hold
only
on. Here's
highlighting the positive.
Maybe this was called for.
Yeah,
Do you know what happened?
Now, I saw a Reddit thread, and it was mainly it went into different directions, but it was suggesting that it started as an argument because they ran out of steak. Now, I don't know if that's
Okay,
the case
here's
or
what I
not.
heard. That's very tangential to what I heard.
Okay.
I heard it started because someone got their steak before someone perceived that their meal had been ordered after. So there was a question about who got their steak before the other person.
That can be restaurant contention. When you see another
Right.
group,
How are they getting their food?
before you do? Yes.
Not. This is not certified as
Right.
the reason why this has happened.
It's
but
scuttlebutt.
A scuttlebutt. A number of different sources. Apparently, that argument or that perception immediately escalated to chair throwing.
Wow.
Like it got crazy quickly.
It was bad. So a good source for anything Bucks County, whether it's good or bad, is Levittown Now, and they had this story up like right after it had happened. I believe it happened on Sunday. But the guy Tom that runs the site, at least according to him, that this place often has security guards.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
I've got Jay on the line. Used to work there.
Okay.
Says there were tons of fights there. So let's go to Jay. Hey, Jay, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, how are you?
Wonderful, man. All right, so you worked at this very Golden Corral?
Yeah, in Bensalem, dude. That place is a barn, dude. Listen, dude, it was like the UFC in there, dude. Dude, they would fight over it. I want my steak medium. I want it well, dude. People were jumping in line. I never seen nothing like it, dude. People were trying to hand me money to give them steak. It's insane, dude.
Did you ever know? I assume you've seen the footage of this brawl, right?
What is it?
You saw this brawl, right?
Yeah, did you see the footage that made the news the other day?
No, dude. As soon as I heard it, dude, I had to jump on the phone. 'Cause,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
as soon as
badass, Jay.
I
This
couldn't
is
believe
like-
it. I was like, dude, it made the paper finally, dude. Holy.
Well, this is really hardcore. There are people like Steve has said that are throwing chairs and high chairs. There's a guy that picks up a whole table,
yeah,
and you can see a woman come over and go, "Dude, put the table down, man."
Dude, it's insane.
Really,
Listen,
Jay, when did you work there? What was your time there?
I was a chef. I worked there in 2015.
Okay.
I worked there for a year and a half. Dude, I've seen probably, I'm not even lying to you, probably 9 fights.
And would they happen at a Golden Corral? Would they usually happen like
the line goes out the door all the way into the parking lot. I mean, it was hours. I mean, I never seen nothing.
All right, Jay, hold on a second. Preston has a question.
Yeah,
Preston?
Jay, would it happen like on weekend nights or at any?
And holidays are the best, dude. Listen, holidays, dude, people are getting smoked, dude. They want that steak, dude. I'm telling you.
I didn't know. Jay, I didn't ever realize that the big draw at the Golden Corral was the steak.
Dude, it was insane, dude. I never knew it till I got a job there, dude. Wow. I mean, dude, it is insane.
All right, man.
You don't even need to go to UFC. Just go to Golden Corral.
That's hilarious, Jay. Wow.
We got about 50 dudes on this phone call.
At least you were back there. You had knives to protect yourself back in the kitchen.
I had plexiglass right in front of me, too. So
yeah,
it was like being in jail.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you this. They trash this place, Preston. It takes about
Thanks, Jay.
a minute and a half, and they've trashed it entirely.
I can't believe they're throwing the high chairs.
By the way, those are effing heavy.
Well, the especially the dude picks up a table.
Yeah.
And that could have killed somebody.
And now nobody gets steak.
Yeah,
You know, like,
get
you're
out of
all
here.
pissy
Nobody's
that
getting
you didn't get
steak.
your steak in time, and now nobody gets
Do
steak.
we have the audio of the brawl? Marissa's going to send it over.
We got about
And
20
look,
seconds.
there's girls in there.
Hey,
Like kids in
girls,
there.
kids, everything.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let's play a little clip of the audio. Of the There's a text came in and said the Golden Corral owner is cool. I used to fix his equipment. He took care of us and tipped us. But that place is, well, I can't say what it says there. I can't say what it says there.
Do you know what I'm tired of with the current crop of brawl videos or fight videos? The guy who's always taking it is always going, OS.
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah, but you know what? That guy's standing back. I'd rather hear him do
Oh,
that
yeah,
than
yeah.
jump
But
in on it all.
give us some color commentary.
Yeah.
Remember the Wawa
Know
fight
how to
in
report.
Delaware, not in Delaware, in Florida, where the guy was commenting on?
Yeah.
His commentary was actually pretty good.
Right.
Where the dude let the league lose
Give
his
us
pants.
some color commentary. Tell us what's going on.
So reading the news report, the police report, it said that they didn't have an exact count on how many people were involved, but officers believe it was more than 40.
Oh, clearly. Clearly.
And the fight left the dining room heavily damaged and sent people fleeing for safety. There weren't police weren't aware of any serious injuries. No arrests had been made.
If I found myself in this situation, I would not be like in the mix throwing chairs. I
You
would
leave.
be the
I'd be in the parking
second,
lot.
the first person out the door.
That's what you need to do.
I
You need to
can't
get
say,
out.
though, if I were clocked in the back, if I just passively was sitting there and got clocked in the back of the head with a chair,
You might
that I
react.
might not freak the F out.
Stand up and throw a high chair.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
if you got caught up in it, it might be more difficult to leave. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Have you ever been close to when a brawl or even a large conflagration like this kicks into effect? It's easy to get swept up in it, even if that is the last thing you want.
No, I've been literally stuck in the middle of a brawl that I had nothing to do with. Those sort of things happen in nightclubs and bars all the time.
A lot. You're right.
This is just a restaurant. I don't know if they serve
A
alcohol.
Golden Corral.
I don't know if they serve alcohol, but when alcohol's involved, it happens quite a bit. Now, one time I was, and the bar doesn't even exist anymore. It was in like Wayne. I was in the dance floor and a fight erupted around me, and I didn't know anybody involved in the fight, and I was getting jostled and thrown all over the place. And the next thing you know, my buddy John grabbed me, and next thing I know, I'm in the parking lot. I'm like, how the hell did that happen?
Good for him.
Yeah, the dance floor where the fight happened, there was an exit right there, and it was right at the parking lot. I was like, dude, like saved my life.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know if I've been in a brawl like that, but I have been in a food fight in high school, and Honestly, it was a lot of fun. Like, you had the feeling that like it was about to start, and then like you'd see one grape go flying, and then like 3 more grapes went in this direction, and then apples started going, and all of a sudden it just turns into mass chaos. And it probably lasted 45 seconds to a minute, but during that time, it was pretty awesome.
Nick, I was actually in college when Animal House came out.
Okay.
And so, yes, that became so common that the school had to put a kibosh on it. They were benevolent. They were food fights.
Yeah.
But when you're like, you don't know what's... Imagine you're sitting... Apparently, Golden Corral serves one hell of a steak. Yeah. And imagine you're at a Golden Corral where it's like going to the Cracker Barrel and having a fight between the Bloods and the Crips.
Right.
Somebody texted and said it was a group of about 60 people. Wait, was this the same one? I don't know if they're referring to the Golden Corral fight or another. It might be continuing from another text, but said that it was a post-funeral group. No serious injuries. That might have been a different thing. Another one says Aramingo Diner in Philly was a brawl every weekend.
You know what was bad, from what I understand, Preston? Up here on City Line, the House of Pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
really?
so it was so bad, and I didn't realize this. And my wife and I went in, we were coming back from something, and it was there. Okay, let's go in. And they actually made us pay
in advance.
In advance.
Right.
They had made us pay in advance, and then the woman there indicated that there were people dining and dashing constantly, and people fighting all the time. It was the craziest thing in an international pancake house.
Kathy, somebody says Bucksco should get extra points for dinner and a show.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Apparently, I just got a text from a friend who's told me that one of our other friends actually goes to this place.
Well, apparently the steak's good.
I've been to Golden Corral. Like it is it's you know, it is what you would imagine it to be. But but the fact that somebody was ready to throw down because they believe the other table got their steak first.
Well, and how does it turn into that? Like, aren't you then mad at the server or the chef
Right.
back in the kitchen who
Right.
sent somebody else's out first? Like,
Yeah,
how
but
does
it
it turn
can-
into everyone involved?
What can happen is, somebody asks a question, well, how come they got their food before I did? And then that person in that
Why don't you
party,
mind your own business?
Yeah, might
Yeah.
say something back, and then next thing you know,
It's all in.
people are being absolute idiots. Hang on a second here. Let me go to Heather. Hi, Heather. Good morning.
It's that you just look so nice today.
Well done.
Thank you. What's up, Heather?
I literally just got out of the shower. This is not even funny. Okay. I watch 6 ABC every morning and morning, noon, and night, and they had an update. They had the guy that threw the high chair, and he ordered his steak like on the rarer side, and the guy in front of him, because I think you line up and you tell the person behind the glass how you want it, what
Yep.
you want, and the guy in front of him got so pissed off that he got his steak first that he started the argument, and he hit him, and then the guy defended himself with the chairs. But I've been to that place once, and I will never go back.
So and apparently the guy got his steak quicker because
He ordered it rare. Yeah,
And
yeah.
therefore it takes less time to cook.
Yeah.
Exactly. So number one.
The $50 gift card for Hangry Bear Creamery. And if you text the word bear to 610-660-9333, you'll be in the running to win that. And by the way, Hangry Bear Creamery in Kennett Square has amazing food. They have the breakfast burrito, which they brought here. Thank you very much to Melinda, who stopped in, one of the owners. And also they specialize in premium ice cream and custom flavors, all of which is available for online ordering, pickup, or shipment. And you can go to hangrybearcreamery.com. Steve, yeah, you're digging the Schuylkill River Surprise ice cream. So it's chocolate sandwich cookie ice cream with caramel-filled turtles, sea salt caramel truffles, and fudge swirls.
You know, the idea is on any given day, you can find just about anything floating down the Schuylkill. That's what she's saying. So it's got all this stuff in it, but it's delicious.
Listen to this one. I love the name of this one. Jason Samoa.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I need that.
Salted caramel ice cream with toasted coconut. Nick would hate that.
Yeah.
Chocolate chips, graham swirl, and fudge swirl.
That's all me.
And it says it was created by an ice cream studio date night couple.
Wow.
Who came out there and they just liked it so much that I guess they put it into the rotation.
Well, they basically have an ongoing lab experience because they have this wonderful room where you can go in and create all your flavors. And if something's popular, they can put it on the menu.
So text the word bear to 610-660-9333 and you just might win. As I was speaking, I noticed that when I opened my mouth, I dropped my jaw and opened my mouth wide, It hurts up here.
I thought I saw that.
In my temple.
I thought I saw you having an issue with your jaw.
If you missed it earlier, we're playing songs that have the word fool in the title. And so we played Nobody's Fool from Cinderella, and we were watching the old video of, and that was the first time I'd seen anybody throw a guitar around their neck, which they do in that. And Casey's like, well, we have a guitar here. You should try it. It's an acoustic guitar, which is a lot wider body than an electric guitar. And I knew I was going to hit myself in the head. Although I thought it was going to be with the headstock of the guitar. It was the bass swung around and nailed me in the temple. So we have audio of this if you want to hear it.
Let's hear it.
I haven't heard this yet. Here it was. It's very, very short. Here we go.
Oh, he hit himself right in the head.
Oh my God! Hang on. I need to lengthen this a little bit because I need to hear what that sounded like beforehand.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Oh!
All right, hang on, guys.
Okay.
You're going to hurt yourself. Oh, he hit himself right in the head. Right.
It was loud.
There's video of it too.
It was loud. By the way, it's like this Zapruder film. We're
No,
watching.
you know what this is like when Marcia got hit in the nose with the football in the house. Oh my nose! Oh my nose! Oh my nose!
I don't like hearing that impact, guys.
Okay.
You're going to hurt yourself. Oh!
It stung. It still hurts a little bit, but I don't think it was concussion worthy. I'm more concerned about the fact that it looks like I have a bald spot on top of my head.
Oh man, right? Doesn't that suck?
Or a little thin. Do you see that little thin spot, or is that gray?
I think.
Please tell me it's gray.
Turn around.
Hang on,
Tilt over.
No, it's just the part.
It's just a part.
Oh, it's the I have a colic in my hair.
It's the part.
Tired.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll be reliving that moment for years to come.
Oh, he hit himself right in the head.
Happened live on the radio. All right, it's Bizarre File time. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we'll begin with this. Baseball season has begun. We had the Phil's home opener yesterday, and minor league parks are open too. And some baseball franchises have long been at the forefront of ball game food innovations. But this one might need to be sent back. This season, the Hartford Yard Goats, a AA franchise in Connecticut, have debuted their Float Your Goat item. So it sounds pretty good at the beginning. It's a quarter-pound beef hot dog topped with peppers, onions, bacon, and brown mustard. And then it's submerged in a glass of 100% pure goat milk.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So they shove it into this glass.
That's horrific.
Of goat milk, and I have no idea how you are actually supposed to consume that.
I'd rather have a tall glass of snake semen like Jessica Simpson's drinking.
But I mean, these are one of these little freak things. Hold on, what just happened? Did you fall down?
No, I dropped my phone. I have been getting phone calls, alerts, emails nonstop for like the last hour saying that there's water in my basement and the sump pump is going off.
Or sump pump has an alert on it.
But it's not, and it's fine, and they keep going off. So I kept getting calls. So I was like, I need to answer this call and tell them, like, can you stop this? Because I'm working.
Do you know what might help you?
I just heard that phone.
Honestly, if I can give some advice, something that might help you would be if you were to attempt a Cinderella guitar flip.
Yeah, it sounds like this.
Oh, he hit himself right in the head. That was so loud.
All right. Well, anyhow,
this looks horrible.
If you're in Connecticut, or if you're in if you're in Hartford, more specific, you got to try the Float Your Goat item or not.
I don't think I will.
In Indiana, Evansville, owners of a restaurant say they feel extorted after they say that their plumber returned to reclog their pipes after a disputed bill.
I saw this story.
Thai Bistro and Bar Operations Manager Jesse Sanders says when their kitchen grease trap started to overflow, they called Heverin Plumbing Company.
Heverin Plumbing.
To fix the block. 3 days later, when it happened again, they say they called their plumber back, and this time they said it was an emergency. Well, after they returned for the second job, Sanders says that they received a bill for nearly double what they had already paid upon the first visit since the plumber returned on overtime. The owner said that I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. The first bill was $235. The second was $390. And the owners say they refused to pay the second one. Sanders said it's not about the money. It's just about him standing behind his work. Restaurant surveillance cameras show the plumber returning the next morning. He said, the manager said the following day we received a text message saying that he's on our property. He put a balloon in our grease trap and he's not going to remove it until we pay. Text exchanged between the parties showed the restaurant owners were given about an hour to pay their bill before the plumber would leave for the weekend. And he said if we were to leave the balloon in there, it would overflow the restaurant with water, dirty water from the grease trap. Basically, we would have to shut down. Now, Heverin Plumbing Company owner Joel Heverin says that his business offers no warranty for drain cleaning. He said that the restaurant also had a history of being slow to make payments to their business in the past. Heverin said, I don't have a magic wand that I can wave and remove all the garbage and debris from the line. What we can do is we can snake it. We can make sure that it's open and working correctly, which is what we did. Police officers actually came to the restaurant to mediate upon the restaurant owner's request.
So what do you think in this case? So let's say they were doing something, you can kind of see both sides a little bit. What if they come out, they clean the pipe, they do what they're supposed to, and you'd like to think that they took care of it and that's that. But what if the restaurant is engaging, putting things down the drain and so on and so forth that keeps bringing the problem back?
I would hope or would think that it might make sense for a plumbing company to have like a 24-hour return, or lack of a better term, a refund policy.
Right.
If they clear a drain and then all of a sudden 24 hours later it clogs back up again, they come back in, they do it again for free. That's what I would think.
That's what I would think. So this happened within that time frame, right?
I think it was 2 days.
Losers.
Let me see here. I don't know.
Okay.
So 3 days later. So I wouldn't expect a refund after 3 days, so.
But you can't ransom the company by, going back and sabotaging it.
Yeah, with officers on the scene and the bill paid, Heverin Plumbing removed the blockage, and the restaurant says that the bill they handed over ultimately was marked paid under protest. So,
Pup.
A man living in Portland, Oregon, in a Portland, Oregon neighborhood is wondering who is putting gallons of urine in his recycling bin and why.
Oh, no.
Jimmy.
Alex, it's Jimmy. He went back home.
The Argonne.
That's where I do my best pissing.
Alex Van Duyen said the problem started in September when he noticed his recycling bin had not been collected. He said, so
The hell is that?
I went to open the blue bin, and lo and behold, there was a nice deposit of gallon-sized bottles of urine, to put it plainly, and he said there were 6 of them.
6 gallons of piss.
The recycling hauler refused to take the bin's contents because urine is biohazard. If it had been placed in the garbage bin, it would have been collected.
Wasn't that an alt band, 6 gallons of piss?
I'd have to go back and check. But the mystery man didn't stop and kept dropping bottles of urine in the bin. Eventually, Van Duyen stopped putting his bins out to the curb altogether, hoping the man would quit. And he did. But he moved on to using the neighbor's garbage bins instead. So it wasn't like this was somebody who was picking him out to vandalize him.
He was just the most convenient.
I guess. So Van Duyen has captured surveillance video of the man showing up to his house, getting out of his car, placing the bottles of urine into the recycling bin. Unfortunately, the videos are grainy and too hard to tell who he is. He shared his ordeal with the Nextdoor app, where neighbors have flooded the post with theories as to the reason behind it all. But even with multiple theories, Van Duyen still does not know why.
What are you doing?
He has filed a police report and is trying to get the man's license plate.
So what would you rather have? Somebody walking their dog and throw the poop bag in your garbage, or a gallon of piss in a Wesson bottle?
I'd rather have the dog poop.
Okay.
So Van Duyen doesn't plan to move or to take extreme measures. He loves the neighborhood. He's lived there since 2006, but he does have a message for the mystery man, which is, I don't know, please stop.
Yeah.
He said, please just don't do that anymore. So we'll see if they can eventually catch this guy, but he has no idea who it is, and they keep leaving piss.
This has got to be some sort of kink thing, or some sort of something. There's something fulfilling. Because
why are they keeping it in the first place? Yeah, it's really weird. All right, that's all we have time for. That's it in the Bizarre File for you. Let's take a quick break. Come back when we return. We will see how closely you've been paying attention with our lesson question. We'll get some trash. We'll get some music news. And if you're good, maybe some more giveaways from Hangry Bear Creamery. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
I don't go to Golden Corral for steak. I go to Fogo. Hello. And I'm telling you, like, really, like, over a steak, like, I don't know.
Well, there's no rhyme or reason, but if you're gonna brawl,
Yeah.
The fact that it happens at a Golden Corral, which I always would consider a senior citizen afternoon dinner at 2:15 kind of place, and you're having a full blown Hell's Angels type Altamont rally.
I remember that one of the last big, huge brawls here that I remember seeing was at a wedding at the Sheraton in Old City.
Somebody died, I think.
Did
That one? I didn't remember that. I remember there was something. What happened, Preston, is that the people who were covering it video-wise were up on a balcony.
Yeah, you had a
and they
good
were
view.
catching the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've seen a brawl. Actually, I have seen a brawl take place at a wedding, and it was. Thank God I had no connection to the people. My girlfriend at the time did. And it was the classic case where they get the guy out and he's putting the garter up on the thigh, and the actual groom thought it was a little bit too much.
Oh.
And so they got in and threw down and out on the dance floor. Now, it wasn't 50 people fighting over a steak, but it's like 10, 15, 20 people going at it.
Yeah.
And I was loving it.
Yeah, I've only seen those at bars, at nightclubs. Usually it was a dance club where people are bouncing around on the dance floor.
Sure,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and then all of a sudden somebody gets into somebody's space or whatever happens, and
that's it.
And then there's a brawl, and then and Casey, you were like your friend pulled you out of there. The security teams, the bouncers, a lot of times don't have much discretion in who they're going to toss out because they don't know what happened. They just got to get in there and start yanking people out.
Yeah. You just have to,
and a couple can get a little overzealous, and it can turn real ugly real quick.
Pain don't hurt.
There you go.
I
thought it'd be bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. at the Golden Corral.
Yeah, there's a place in Ridley. It had changed so many different names. At one point, it was a Brownies. It was a Wade's Irish Pub. I mean, I watched a couple of things happen there. I watched this chick just hurl a bottle into a group of. She had no idea who she was throwing or who she was going to hit or anything.
Well, I mean, but I mean, you would expect like bouncers and people to be there.
Yeah.
A Golden Corral wouldn't.
Honestly, yeah.
Wouldn't have a bouncer.
No, you have a hostess.
Yeah.
Or a host.
Hey, if there's a brawl, we need you to to handle the situation.
Some 17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Braces.
Could you put that table down?
Well, as a comedian was on last week with us, he was saying it's not the Silver Corral,
yeah,
it's the Golden Corral.
Right. Wow. Well, this video footage is just crazy, man. I mean, it's like it's scary. People picking up chairs and hurling them across a room.
Yeah, I've been in fights, but I've never been, in the middle of a brawl like that, and I don't know how I would react. Again, the notion that you're not getting your steak in time doesn't seem to be a real reason to throw down.
On a different note, and we'll take the calls as they're coming in if you guys want to comment on this, but it does have to do with the restaurant and a bit of a scene that took place. And I wanted to make sure that I mentioned this. Casey actually sent this story to us over the weekend, and I forgot to mention it yesterday. But our friend John Dornbos,
yes,
oh my God, yeah,
played a real life hero over the weekend. He and his wife Annalise were at a restaurant. And they were actually next door to a different restaurant where the owner of a Huntington Beach restaurant caught on fire because she got too close to a space heater and her clothes caught on fire. Dornbos jumped into action and may have saved this woman's life. According to eyewitnesses on the scene, his quick thinking and action was exactly what needed to happen. Her name was Anna Nakayo, the co-owner of Veggielicious, and the victim of the fire has undergone 2 surgeries, according to her husband, Akira, after suffering 2nd and 3rd degree burns.
Jeez.
It could have been much worse if not for Dornbos's help. He said, the news interviewed him, he said, I grabbed my wife's blanket and I got her to the ground, meaning the woman who was on fire, and was just like, hey, help me out. I got you. You're going to be alive. It's okay. And I remember her looking at me, and I just said, honey, it's okay. You're alive. And we did it. So he smothered the flames with the blanket, and she was engulfed.
Yeah.
I mean,
good Lord.
Like, she may have difficulty walking after this.
Yeah, I actually had a nice correspondence with John about this. Just saying, man, I'm so proud of you. And I said, it's crazy to think that all of your life's experiences and everything brought you to that point in time and to that moment in that situation with a blanket to save that woman's life. It's just insane.
Just how things played out.
Yeah.
Fate. Yeah, an unbelievable thing. But he was, talk about a guy, his own story is amazing. He steps in and saves this woman's life.
It's fantastic. So he said, one of the things I'm most thankful for about playing in the NFL, I played for 14 years. was just this idea of under pressure, being able to calm down and think.
Yeah.
And he handled it, saved this woman's life. So very proud of John. Always have been.
Man.
So that's just another thing, another wonderful thing that he's done. So good for him. And
We should get him on and have him do magic for us.
Yeah, we should, right?
Celebrate.
Wow, man. All right, going back to the Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
I want to go to Chris, who's got a comment on this. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you guys doing today?
Good. What's up, my man?
So I've never been to the Ben Salem one, but I go to the one up in Lehigh County, and I know how this fight started.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Think just like Lehigh County, there's a big line that starts, but the grill's only so big. So you walk up to the grill, the chef, and you tell him how you want it, medium. He's like, all right, here you go. The next guy might want it well done, and that's where everything starts. He wants it well done. Oh, I don't have any well done. Come back. I'll remember you. Like, okay. So you sit down. You come back 5 minutes later. Those people don't know who you are. They all just think you just cut the line.
Okay.
So this is obviously.
But I got it for you. First off, it's against the law to have a steak well done. I mean,
I agree. I'm with you, Chris.
I'm a medium rare guy, so mine's always done when I get up there. And they do have very good steaks, Steve. Very good steaks.
Do they? All right. So my question would be: is this why? So why don't you place your order? They give you a number like they do in other places.
Yeah.
You put the number on your table and they bring you your steak.
Well, Steve, sometimes people lack that thing called intelligence. But they do have other good food there, too. You can go up there and get your steak, and then go up there and get spaghetti and meatballs while you're waiting for it or whatever. Like you said, take a number, get like a digital system going.
Yeah,
right.
But to have them in line, Chris, and have you waiting or having you not understanding the timing situation, that's like that's a powder keg.
It is. It can be ridiculous, and then the grill's only so big, so you might have 100 people in line, but you can only fit 20 steaks on there.
All right.
So when all the 20 steaks are up, and then and then the guy orders well done, and
he kills it.
That's how World War I started.
All right. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate the perspective, man. Thank you.
He does make a good point.
And by the way, I had a scenario not that long ago where it was a stand-in line type of thing. I think we're at the premium outlets. And had ordered something. They weren't ready. It was like an Asian buffet, and they didn't have enough egg rolls done. So I ordered those. Like, okay, we need to make them come back in a second. And I had to do that thing where I had to walk back up and get in front of people at the register. And, they think I'm cutting in line, and I'm actually just going up to get what I had ordered previously. I hate that. It's just a moment of uncomfortability.
It's like the walk of shame almost.
I hate it.
You should be holding your shoes, Preston, with smeared lipstick on your face.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Great. WMMR with the song Good. It is 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. Preston and Steve show. Sunny skies today. And temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s, high temperatures. Windy as well. It's one of those mornings where, I had trouble opening the car door when I got into the parking lot.
This morning, absolutely.
Tomorrow, 55, partly cloudy. 76 is our high on Thursday. Cloudy skies. And then Friday, 65. And then Saturday, I'm going all the way into Saturday because we're going to be cooling off, just letting you know. And some rain expected as of now. But the high only 52 degrees on Saturday is what they're calling for, yeah. Let's see. Oh, I want to reiterate an announcement we made earlier this morning. We are doing an event, a promotion that starts on Monday, and it's called Preston and Steve's 20 Money. And this is to commemorate us, the Preston and Steve Show, celebrating our 20th year at WMMR.
It's pretty amazing.
Yep. So that's how long we have been right here at the Rock and Roll Animal. And President Steve's 20 Money will start on Monday and 8, 10, noon, 3, and 5. We'll announce a keyword. And then you'll have 25 minutes after the hour to enter it. 3 ways to do that. You can go through the contest page, WMMR.com. You can go through the MMR app on your cell phone, or you can text it to the special short code number we have, which is 45911.
As you pointed out, that's 10 minutes longer than you would get normally.
Yeah, it used to be 15 minutes out of the hour. One winner gets $1,000. And as a bonus, MMR will set you up with a pair of MM barbecue tickets.
Love it.
Yep. So it's sponsored by United Tire and Service, and that starts on Monday. So just letting you know ahead of time. All right. Now, at this moment, we're going to give away for less than a question 4-pack of tickets for the Body Worlds event at Franklin Institute. And the question we will go with this morning is, we got to do this. Scott Disick's face is the equivalent of what becoming self-aware?
Yes.
It's from about 6:45 this morning. It was pretty early, but if you were listening and you know the answer, then you need to text the word Zoom. This is how we do this for now. Text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. We'll send you a link to our Zoom account. Click on that. Get in line. We'll grab somebody, and then we'll ask if you know the answer. Or you can call me on my phone.
Absolutely.
I got this phone right here.
Your vintage.
My old candlestick phone. Hello. All right. Anyway, text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333, and we'll see if you can get through. Yes, Kath.
In 1923, I just watched the last episode, and they have to, it is an operator who is unplugging the cords and plugging back in to patch through to Montana to try to get a hold of someone. And that's, I was like, that kind of looks like us. Actually, they're doing better than we are.
Yes, exactly.
They got through.
All right, let's get to the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we'll get some stories and we'll see if we can get a winner. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, Preston, astronaut Dr. Mae Jemison is giving advice to Lauren Sanchez and Gail King ahead of their trip into space aboard the Blue Origin rocket. Jemison reportedly warned them about the dramatic risk of zero-gravity queefing.
Oh,
could be a problem.
God.
The star of the reality show called Love and Marriage Huntsville, was arrested for speeding in Georgia on Friday night. Marceau Scott attempted to play the "Do you know who I am" card until a Google search said, never heard of him.
Yeah.
And finally, gospel singer and Bishop Marvin Sapp under fire for locking his congregation in the church and refusing to open the doors until they raised $40,000. Sapp defended his fundraising method, saying people always become more generous when they believe they're going to die.
Yeah.
And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, looks like we got somebody on board who wants to take a crack at this, so we are going to go and check in with Zach. Hey, Zach. Morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy. All right, so Scott Disick's face is the equivalent of what becoming self-aware?
A butthole.
A butthole. Nice job, Zach. Hold on, buddy. You got yourself a 4-pack of tickets. A really cool thing. It's Body Worlds at the Franklin Institute. See 20 stunning full-body plastinates and over 150 real specimens. You can explore the wonders of the human body like never before. Body Worlds, Franklin Institute. Buy tickets at fi.edu. Hang on, Zach. We'll get your info. And while we are doing that, we'll do that.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by 80 Moyer, trusted expert since 1939. 80 Moyer Lumber, your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. And you can visit them on the web at admoyer.com. I have a little audio to play with this case. I should, a rare studio recording. Marissa, did you send it over?
Is this it right here?
Oh! He hit himself right in the head.
No, that's me hitting my head with a guitar. A rare studio recording of Yes, covering the Beatles' Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
Has reportedly made its way online. The track is thought to have been recorded at London's Polydor Studios in February 1969.
Polydor.
Yep.
God, you'd see that on records all the time.
And Yes's version has a bit of a faster tempo, a strong rhythm section, and a psychedelic intro. The YouTuber who posted this, Ian Hartley, said this particular recording has never been publicly released before. And here's the first failed take on the ER run-through as recorded in raw form at the time. Apart from some speed correction, no remastering was done to the master tapes. The audio is not good. They were in the studio, but I don't think that they were. I don't think it was all set up for formal recording that they were just kind of practicing.
It was sped up. Is that what you're saying?
No, it says apart from some speed correction. No, they did speed correction on it. So, but I guess Marissa's still sending it over. We got to wait a minute or two. I checked it out. I was like, wow, that should be really cool. But it was in such the early days of Yes that they still had a real raw sound.
I didn't realize that Yes has been around for that long.
A long time.
I had no clue. You
I'm a
said
huge
1969.
Wow.
So in case I'm not familiar with the real early stuff, but yeah, they've been a band that's I'm like I told you, I'm reading Geddy Lee's autobiography again, and Rush has been around for a long time, but they were huge, like geek out Yes fans growing up listening to them.
Geddy played the bass for the band when they were at the Rock and Roll
Hall of Fame. Yeah, he played Roundabout because Chris Squire died years ago. So this is, here's a little bit of it. It doesn't sound that great, but I thought it'd be an interesting listen anyway. Sounds like a garage band practicing,
Yeah, I would like to hear that produced, though. I like what they're doing with it.
I agree.
But I that's probably not an option because I doubt the work parts are intact.
Yeah. All right, and then only have one other story. Papa Roach frontman Jacoby Shaddix has revealed that the band's next album will come out next year. Their latest single, Even If It Kills Me, is the first track from that upcoming record and a really early peek at the new record. The band plans to release more music throughout the year and expects the album to have about 10 or 11 songs.
Are they including a bonus track, which is their cover of Yes's cover of Eleanor Rigby?
I would only hope so. Shaddix shared that they're also going on a big tour, including stops in the U.S., Europe, Latin America, Australia, possibly Southeast Asia. He said that he's been working in the studio between tour dates to finish the album. The new music, including a reimagined version of Even If It Kills Me, was inspired in part by his son's painful breakup, and Shaddix hopes that it connects with fans on a deeper level. And that's it in music news for you.
That's all you need.
We'll take a break. We'll return to wrap up the program, and we have a $500 Minecraft movie family prize bag to give away. So get set. We'll have it in a moment. Stay with us.
What they should do is have a secondary line that is for people who've already placed their orders and are coming back to pick that up. Just a little bit of tinkering around could have avoided this brawl.
Here's an interesting text. It says, "Hey guys, I'm a wedding photographer, and there was a brawl at a wedding. And at the end of the night, the Philly cops needed to go through my camera to find out who the culprits were.
That's
because
great.
they all fought and then ran, and they were family. So I guess nobody was giving anybody up.
Right.
Spell family.
And I don't know how that ended up resolving itself, but they had to use that as evidence to track people down.
I love those places where there'd be no way that you'd imagine there'd be something like a brawl or a physical fight, and you get one.
Hey, let's go to Lou. Good morning, Lou.
Yay!
All right. Lou! How you doing, bud?
Doing better, President. How you guys doing?
Good. Lou had a touch of the Rona.
Oh, did you?
I
Okay,
had
good.
The coronavirus.
Yeah, you're doing better though, right?
Right. Plus, I got busted ribs, which is always fun.
How
I
did-
took a fall at the Poconos, so I'm still...
Man,
Oh, poor
Lou.
thing. All right, well,
Yeah,
listen.
it's been a crazy month.
But you're doing better. You wanted to tell us this story?
Yeah. So one time I was working out in California. I had a Jack in a Box, and a buddy of mine was working the drive-through. And like 4 guys from San Jose State football team was in the drive-through, and they were busting the kids. You know, they were busting them up, picking on them.
Right.
So when he handed them the food, they threw a shake at him, and the kid said something, and they thought that it was just him. They didn't know that his brothers, me, and a buddy of ours, this big Samoan, was sitting in the other room. So we emptied out into the joint, like they came driving around thinking they're going to fight him, and when we emptied out, one kid walked around the end of the car. I opened his face right up with a left hook.
Oh my God! All right, right up.
A Jack in the Box
Oh, it was a
brawl.
brawl.
You know what? In a way, Lou, you were like an actual Jack in the Box. The door opens
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Boom. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Was that the end of the brawl, or did everybody get out and start mixing it up?
Oh no! Everybody got started mixing it up. One of the guys went and got a jack out of the car, and he went after the Samoan. Well, the Samoan kid, he took the jack right to the forearm and started pounding this guy.
Oh my God!
He was a tough kid. He was a cook. I seen this kid drink a dozen and a half of raw eggs one time.
Drink a dozen and a half raw eggs?
All of Lou's all Lou's stories have like tangential stories.
Yeah.
You know?
That alone would be a hell of a story. So the Samoan, you don't want to piss off the Samoan and Jack in the Box, but you guys, I assume, prevailed and were the victors, right?
Right.
All right, cool.
All right, Lou, good to hear from you, man. Hang in there, bud. Lou?
Do we lose him?
Lou? Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right, Lou, take care, man. We'll see you later.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
All right, see ya. Oh, my God. Wow. All right, well, this one, this Golden Corral brawl, it made,
national.
It was viral, and how can you not be, stare at that like a deer in headlights, because it's just, you're not used to seeing that type of thing at your Golden Corrals.
Golden Corral, Sizzler. What were the other?
Does Sizzler even exist anymore?
There was a Western Sizzlin', I remember.
Western Sizzlin', we talked about.
A branch.
Hosses was the one that we went. Yeah, we went to the Hosses in college. That was like Central PA, probably elsewhere as well.
The whole thing was like $6. You go $6. You go. It's that cafeteria style.
Well, Old Country Buffet was one as well, but I don't think they had steak there.
No.
But I worked at a place I told you guys about. It was called York Steakhouse. That was kind of like that type of thing where. You just stand in line, you get it, and take it to your table.
And then you head west across the country, and then you get Luby's, and you get Morrison's, and you get other cafes. Luby's, yeah.
Okay, is that like Luby or Luby?
It was Lubys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luby's. Like Ruby. Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, thank you for the stories, and keep it in mind. Be patient when people are ordering steak.
Don't order it well done. You get it sooner.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to take a break. Don't forget, Tobias Harris is going to be on the show
this
morning. We're also going to have mountaineer Nims Persia on the program as well. Climbed the tallest peaks, all 14 of them in record time in the world. And our friends from Primo's are stopping by. In fact, Marissa is arranging the goodies right now, which means we'll have some goodies to give away for you as well. We'll take a break, and we'll come back in a moment. Oh, and it's National Chocolate Day.
What? Is it?
Yes, and I think we're going to commemorate that in a moment. I'll explain in a little bit.
Chocolate
Be
Day.
back in a moment. Stay with us.
Goes out the door all the way into the parking lot. I mean, it was hours. I mean, I never seen nothing.
All right, Jay, hold on a second. Preston has a question.
Yeah,
Preston?
Jay, would it happen like on weekend nights or at any?
Holidays are the best, dude. Listen, holidays, dude. People are getting smoked, dude. They want that steak, dude. I'm telling you.
I didn't know. Jay, I didn't ever realize that the big draw at the Golden Corral was the steak.
Dude, it was insane, dude. I never knew it till I got a job there, dude. Wow. I mean, dude, it is insane.
All right, man.
You don't even need to go to UFC. Just go to Golden Corral.
That's hilarious, Jay. Wow.
So they 50 dudes on this phone call.
At least you were back there. You had knives to protect yourself back in the kitchen.
I had plexiglass right in front of me, too. So I was like being in jail.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you this. They trash this place, Preston. It takes about
Thanks, Jay.
a minute and a half, and they've trashed it entirely.
I can't believe they're throwing the high chairs.
By the way, those are effing heavy.
Well, the especially the dude picks up a table.
Yeah.
And that could have killed somebody.
And now nobody gets steak.
Yeah,
get
get out of here. Nobody's
that
getting
you didn't
steak.
get your steak in time, and now nobody gets steak.
Do we have the audio of the brawl? Marissa's going to send it over.
We got about
And
20
look,
seconds.
there's girls in there. Like,
kids
Girls,
in there.
kids, everything.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let's play a little clip of the audio. There's a text came in and said the Golden Corral owner is cool. I used to fix his equipment. He took care of us and tipped us. But that place is, well, I can't say what it says there. I can't say what it says there.
Do you know what I'm tired of with the current crop of brawl videos or fight videos? The guy who's always taking it is always going, OS.
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah, but you know what? That guy's standing back. I'd rather hear him do
Although-
that
Yeah,
than
yeah.
jump
But
in
tell-
on it all.
give us some color commentary.
Yeah.
Remember the Wawa
Know
fight
how to
in
report.
Delaware?
Yeah.
Not in Delaware, in Florida, where the guy was commenting on.
Yeah.
His commentary was actually pretty good.
Right.
Where the dude let lose
Give
his
us
pants.
some color commentary. Tell us what's going on.
So reading the news report, the police report, it said that they didn't have an exact count on how many people were involved, but officers believe it was more than 40.
Oh, clearly. Clearly.
And the fight left the dining room heavily damaged and sent people fleeing for safety. There weren't police weren't aware of any serious injuries. No arrests had been made.
If I found myself in this situation, I would not be like in the mix throwing chairs. I
You
would
leave.
be the
I'd be in the parking
second, the
lot.
first person out the door.
That's what you need to do.
I
You need to
can't
get
say,
out.
though, if I were clocked in the back, if I just passively was sitting there and got clocked in the back of the head with a chair,
You might
that I
react.
might not freak the F out.
Stand up and throw a high chair.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
if you got caught up in it, it might be more difficult to leave. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Have
Yep.
you ever been close to when a brawl or even a large conflagration like this?
Springfield.
Losing myself on 93.3 WMMR. I was looking, I believe, next Monday. He's going to be on our program.
We hope, yeah.
Yep, so he's scheduled to join us, and we're looking forward to talking to that guy about that new song, which the more I hear, the more I like that song, man.
I love hearing it come up in the rotation. It's definitely polarizing. Some people don't get it. I get it.
It's about 10:30 on this Tuesday morning, coming to a close. April Fool's Day, by the way. And I just want to take this moment to thank guests that we had on the show. I would like to thank the 2 minutes of Stephen Weber from Chicago Med. We had technical problems, and we got him at the last second.
It was funny because I said, listen, we owe you, make good on this. And he goes, oh, yeah, you do. And I'm going to collect.
So it was good to talk to him. His show is Chicago Med. They have a special episode coming out on tomorrow, actually, at 8 o'clock on NBC, and it's all his character. It focuses on his character, which is pretty cool. Spends a whole day with him. Then we had a very lovely chat with Kristina Ulmer.
Yay!
Local school teacher, Hebbar Horsham, and she is promoting the $20 challenge. Her sister passed away 10 years ago. A couple of years after she died, she had found the belongings from the car that were left behind by her sister after this car accident. And she was a waitress, and she had all this money, tip money. And she is Christine is a teacher, and she decided to do something useful with this money that her sister would have appreciated because she was a very giving, very empathetic person. So she went to her students, and she gave each one of her students $20 and said, I'm going to give you this $20, but it is up to you to do something good with it. And that started in 2018. This has continued on every year, and now she's getting some national attention from it. It's becoming a really cool exercise, like she said, in empathy and resilience, and also ways to make that money stretch and how to get the most out of giving. And it was really cool to hear her story.
It's amazing.
She is asking for donations if people want to help out with this, because that was coming out of her pocket after that first year. The money came out of her own pocket. PledgeCents.com is the website, and that's cents spelled with a C, C-E-N-T-S, PledgeCents.com if you would like to help out, or maybe if you're a teacher, do something like that in your own school, in your own classroom. So it was a really cool story. And thank you to our friends at Hangry Bear Creamery and Kennett Square. Melinda Shaw, the owner, stopped by and brought us avocado toast and breakfast burritos. Because it's not just ice cream. They've got great food. They've got cocktails, the whole thing that you're looking for. But ice cream is one of the things they're definitely known for.
Yeah.
She brought by Schuylkill River Surprise and Jason Momoa. But one of the really cool things about Hangry Bear is that you can set up an ice cream studio event for friends, family, coworkers, whatever. It can be a bonding event, a team building event. and you create your own flavors.
So to the point, if you're going to have a lot of people, the great thing is they have a big parking lot in front of the place. So you have these parties. It's easy to get there, get in, get out. And a lot of times that place, those parties are serving as research efforts, Preston, to create the new flavor, which they did with this Squiggly flavor, I think, that they have brought with them. It's amazing.
And their slogan is inspired by creativity and fueled by hunger. I have one last $50 gift card to give away. So if you're interested in grabbing something at the tail end of the program, perfect. Just text the word BEAR, BEAR, to 610-660-9333, and we'll get a winner a little bit later on. So thank you to Hangry Bear for coming by here. All right, we need to do the letter of the day. I guess that's going to be you, Case.
I got you.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
E as in El Kabong.
All right, and we're giving away a $500 Minecraft movie family prize pack. Includes 2 Admit to Fandango tickets. That means 4 tickets. I don't know why they just say 4 tickets. 4 official film posters, 2 Minecraft foam swords, 4 Minecraft sunglasses, and 2 Minecraft activity sheets. And a Minecraft movie is going to hit theaters on April 4th, by the way. And I forgot to do this. It's Tuesday. Tuesday. Thanks to all those who had texted in this morning, and we would like to congratulate Connie Bienkowski, who is our winner. And Connie got herself a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, and you can find them at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. For artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com, or you can check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. I will take this opportunity to thank the fine sponsors of the Preston and Steve Show. And we'll begin with Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and Worldwide Stereo. Don't miss the Take It Outside Spring Showcase. It's April 5th. WorldwideStereo.com. Rockin' Backyard since 1979. Oh, and one more thing. We did announce the Preston and Steve 20 Money, celebrating 20 years of the Preston and Steve Show on WMMR. It starts on Monday. Your shot to win $1,000 5 times a day. We announce keyword at 8, 10, noon, 3, and 5. You have 25 minutes after the hour to enter it, and we'll tell you how to do that when we get there on Monday, and it's sponsored by United Tire and Service. Tomorrow on our program, a Wednesday, so we'll check in with Fox Good Day. Finally, Tom Papa will reveal his whole idea behind the sourdough bread excursion.
We call it the sourdough dilemma.
So he'll be joining us, and we also have Finn Wolfhard of Stranger Things.
Excellent.
Going to be really cool. So that's it. We're done. Rage on ever. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Preston and Steve.